Same.
Oh no.
So no more doxing.
No more
No
doxing.
doxing?
No.
We were doxing.
Yeah, we were doxing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Unboxing.
I mean, James usually doxes themselves, so.
Why did
Yeah,
my...
that's fair.
I just got very confused as to why I could hear myself again. It's my Twitch stream had unmuted itself because I was watching someone else yesterday.
Stream up.
Let's get straight up.
It's at the moment of, why can I hear everyone like 10 times? Oh, that's why.
Alright, so that's live.
Yep,
Yeah, we're live.
Bane, you good?
Yep.
Alright, I guess we should probably do some D&D. We got everyone. Got my notes up. I don't know, I'll get my notes up when I need them.
No, notes when necessary.
Well,
Notes
notes when
who needs
necessary.
notes?
There's so much. It's the problem with this world getting too big. It's so hard to keep track of everything.
Know that feeling.
Alrighty then. Did I actually update the name? I did. One second. I haven't actually put the old Twitter out.
I forgot to. I don't worry, I tweeted at World of Alterra as well. So.
New episode.
Yay.
I have
Come
no
on.
idea what. I have no idea what. So right now I gave
We
up.
fought a giant honeybee.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
We fought
understand.
a giant honeybee
Queen
last
bee.
week.
From
Yeah.
what I've been told, I was there in stomach.
Yes.
Well,
And
elemental
stomach
honey.
rumbling.
Yeah, mumbly.
We left in charge of the ship.
Well, that's a bad shit.
Yeah, I know.
There is no supplies on the ship anymore.
I mean,
No.
Abigail was there as well, so they might have
Ah,
stopped.
yeah, probably. So leave an Alvina minder. What? By the way, a question. What channel was the inventory screen on again? I cannot remember.
It's items, maps, and stuff.
Cheers. I was gonna get it up, and I was like, I don't remember which channel it's in. Okay,
There we go.
Stats, not stuff.
Tweets out.
I found it.
We have tweeted.
Tweet.
Tweeting.
New tweet. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 32 of Alterra, the Shattered Altsphere, Shadow in the Smokes. Because I honestly have no idea what the hell you guys are going to do this week, so it's the
Yeah.
best title I get. It's quite a good title, quite like it. Alright, let's quickly recap since some of the players weren't here last week, and for anyone else who's joining us for the first time, well, comment in the chat and, you know, pick whichever character you want to die, and I might kill them. We'll see. To become a survival popularity round. You don't want the rocks to fall on you? Better please the audience. Last week, our party did a little bit of pottering about in Deepswell. They went to the external coordinator who, to be fair, I really should have, I only noticed after the session, I should have confirmed that their quests were for the greater region area rather than for Smokeyards itself. There was some disappointment there, and I do apologize. That should be made more clear. Primarily because I didn't want to give you guys extra quests for the Smokeyards, so you wouldn't spend 20 sessions in it.
Fair. Honestly,
Yeah,
safe.
fair.
Safe bet.
We take your challenge.
Since the whole point of this new recalibration is to actually be more streamlined and not spend 20 sessions not doing the main plot. Or at least the plot that you have determined is the main plot.
Which side quest do we decide is the main side quest?
So yeah, the honey quest
Oh,
is
God.
the only one that's actually in the story. So with that, the party not only learned some reasons to go to potentially some other places for additional rewards after the main quest, which the players can fill the rest of the characters who were missing last weekend later. They also traversed to the location of the honey tree thing. I don't know, my words have failed me. Welcome to Friday.
Course
Hive.
Yeah, the honey core spike, I think he called it, something like that.
The honey core spike.
Nice.
There was a grove of densely compact trees around it, like there are to all of the other spikes, preventing the party from being able to abseil directly into the grove and the source of the royal honey, and forcing them to abseil down at the end of the at the outer edges of the grove and sneak their way in, sneaking in a car. Since I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Well, the party succeeded, so hey, party succeeded, and they managed to get the jars of royal honey before one of the players, who is going to work on starting combat during stealth missions, decided to combat against the queen, which the party managed to survive and also defeat, causing
Congrats.
potentially ramifications and fallout. Which, since it wasn't a entirely party decision, don't worry, it won't be that hard. By which I mean, if you ever come back to the region, I'll probably have forgotten anyway, so don't worry about it.
There'll be a new one. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, there's a bit of turmoil with the bees, but they sorted themselves out. It's fine now.
Instead of a queen, it's a president. We'll just put it that.
Oh god.
I think it's a civil war.
And it all happened during the weekend at Lock, by the way. Just want.
The bees are
I'll tell that
killing
story
nine.
afterwards.
President Control loses control of Lou Grim and just takes control of the bees instead.
Oh god, no, please.
With that, the party have successfully managed to gather the first of the 3 ingredients. I want to say 5. Where's my list?
Yeah.
The 5 jars of royal honey. They now only need to get the corpses of 3 giant boars.
No, they have to be corpses, or can we take them alive?
You can take them alive, but in order to eat them, I'm pretty sure at some point you will have to kill them. It's an unfortunate side effect of eating an animal.
I beg to differ. You just need to have a big enough. You just need to unhinge your jaw enough.
Oh no.
I was thinking healing magic, just chop it off. Heal it
Yeah, I
up.
mean,
Oh no, so that's
No,
really good.
No,
pull a rib out, heal them up. Pull a rib
No.
out, heal them up.
I want to
No.
state that while Alterra has no opinion, or while the Alterra channel has no opinions on vegans or vegetarians and has no ethical anything contribute either way, we are against the cruelty of animals. So there you go.
Okay.
Agreed.
We will not be eating animals while they are alive. You'll do it the normal way.
What if they're evil?
I mean,
No.
what if the animal consents to it? What if they're literally made?
If they're evil, I think it's a war crime.
Surely consent is more important.
Yeah, like the shmoo, which literally cuts pieces of itself off to feed other people.
I'm not coming in as the
You're
shadow
not
elf.
endorse the cruelty of animals, regardless of their
moving on.
edibility.
Moving on, 3
Yes,
giant
moving
boars and 6 giant premium core splinter cast-offs, which you need to gain from one of each of the various core splinters marked on the maps.
Okay.
It is currently the, I want to say middle of night. You did go in under nightfall. Probably took you at least an hour to get there, an hour back.
Yeah.
Probably some time pouring about. So it's at least a couple hours after nightfall. With the ship anchored and hovering above the grove on the 9th day since you departed from salvage, with 5 days remaining until the arrival of the Iron Core ship. To which you have determined that it will take you at least a day on foot to get to the block in the tunnel and a day on foot to get there. So potentially half a day in a vehicle, since the tunnel is too small for the ship. So you do have to budget in an extra day, and maybe potentially more if you want to spend time actually scouting out the tunnels or going slower than that. Or, maybe if assuming that you don't immediately die to whatever is blocking the tunnel.
Yeah.
But
depending on we not getting eaten by a giant spider.
as well as that, the party also rescued a new NPC, a wolfish, topless, covered in honey, hairy man.
What?
That the party
Yeah, it's
found
it's
crashed
me. I finally
near the
found
grove.
the win at the game. I'm covered in honey right now.
And anyone who can figure
James,
out
what
who
you
this
do on
character,
Friday nights, that's completely down to you.
Oh no, this is completely unrelated to D&D.
We assumed.
We assumed, yes.
Good. Then we're in agreement.
and anyone but Crow or James who figures out who this character is based on will gain a destiny point. It is not.
Aw.
What?
I haven't interacted with them yet, so I don't know. All I've been told is himbo
I
werewolf.
made him.
Literally
My
anything.
That's
My
what you don't
character-
get to. You made
Oh
them.
wait. Shit. Wait. Wait.
It's not you. It's before
No.
you go. It's not you.
It's no. Is it based on another character that lives in Alterra?
No.
Okay. Then why don't I get a shot? I
Is
have
it
no
based
idea.
on Free from Soul Eater?
No, but any
Why don't-
further guesses will have to be in the group chat, so as not to take up voice chat time.
Yeah.
All right.
Feel free to, especially if you throw a picture of them into the Alterra Discord chat.
Oh wait, I've got an idea.
But anyway, it's not them.
Oh.
It's not the dog from Up.
Okay.
But now that you mention it, they do have very similar personalities.
Which is slightly worrying, honestly.
It's worrying. But yes, the party have returned to the ship with this new NPC who has informed you that their name is Jones. And that is where we are going to pick back up in the middle of the night before, on the last day of the 9th day, or on night of the 9th day, I don't know, with the party returning to Alvina, Abigail, and Assassin, who were previously on the ship, keeping watch on it in case some giant party came to get it. It is not that character, who I'm assuming is from... What's the show called?
Beastars.
Beastars.
Watched
It is
it.
not the
I haven't watched it. I just know it's a wolf person.
Yeah, I'm just happy. I'm happy to answer any character-based questions in the Discord.
But yes, let's get into the game. Wolfie, say hi.
Howdy!
Zormir, say hi.
Jeez.
Say hi. We're doing introductions.
Hi.
Okay, eventually I'm just gonna get to the point where just everyone say hi. I'm getting to that point today.
Just shout it.
Everyone say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Man.
Hard for a second there.
All right, there you go. You're back. You're on the ship. It's the middle of the night. There's a hairy, topless, wolfish, clearly, definitely not a werewolf. I don't know what you mean. Man dripping with honey, standing on deck. Continue.
Why point?
Oh. He needed help.
He's just
Who the
standing
fuck
there,
is
just
he?
scratching the back of his help, just waving at everyone.
Who the hell are you?
Oh,
Hi, I'm Jones.
Jones. Okay. Hi, I'm Albina.
This is Jones. He's a dog.
He looks down at himself, confused. Looks at his hands.
I also
Walk
look at them
over.
confused.
Well, dog adjacent.
Okay.
He was stuck in a trap, so I rescued him, and now he's with us.
Oh, is that your excuse for how we got a dog? Get a dog, and we don't have to feed it rocks now.
We got a dog.
Don't
Yeah,
know
apparently we
if
have a dog.
Is this like Assassin goes over to the honey man and is just like, "Are you a dog? Is the quest finally over?"
Kind of stares down at you quizzically. I don't think I am. Am I a dog?
Oh,
Wait, I've got an idea.
You have dog-like features.
I've got an idea. There's an indisputable way of finding out if he's a dog. I go and find a stick.
Do not throw it off the airship.
I just like wave it in front of his head, and does he just track it?
Absolutely.
Got it. He's a dog. And I throw it. I don't throw it off the ship. I throw it up to like the top section of the ship.
He immediately bounds after it, and with some very impressive agility and strength, just is able to easily like pounce up to the upper deck in a feat that you're pretty sure only maybe Alvina could simulate.
I like this one.
So, anyway. There we go.
I mean, more importantly than meeting, I'm assuming just another spy from somebody else.
Oh yeah, who is the spy? Which faction's
What?
the spy for?
Why did we
Another
attack
spy?
the bee?
Yeah,
You attacked
that's
the
my
bee?
question.
Why did you
What?
attack the bee?
That's my
I
question
leave
as
for
well.
5 minutes.
I'm staring at Fade. Why did we attack a bee?
Oh, I would have wanted to sneak off, but I'll still be there. I've got arms full of honey that I'm wrestling with.
Why are you wrestling with honey?
Oh, I have like an armful of it.
Like in just normally or in jars? What are we talking?
No,
I'm
they
put-
literally they just stuck their
grabbed-
hand
yeah.
in honey.
Grabbed
Okay.
a massive armful of honey.
It's just leaking off them.
I don't
Fair.
know why you started fighting the bee. No.
Funny thing is, the first glow come from something invisible.
If you say so.
But
It's apparent to anyone with more than a 10 in insight that Fade definitely started the fight.
Yeah, they're not any good at this.
oh shit, I'm at 9.
I,
It's
Good.
8. It's 8 plus.
You weren't there anyway,
modifier,
so
isn't it? I'm at 9. I almost get. Fair enough.
You have an inkling, but you're not
I-
100% sure.
I don't know. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I know. We were supposed to be stealthy. I saw footprints and I found some things and something broke in my mind. I'm sorry.
yourself.
I leave for 5 minutes. Oh god.
But
Put that honey in a box or something.
yeah. But I'm gonna put it in my jars when I get back to my room.
I'm basically just sending you to the kitchen.
But I was looking at leavings of on the ground, metal pieces, and my past, my eye triggered, and I didn't. And they just sort of looked down at the floor. I saw.
We can't have this. This is not a good thing. We need for you to maintain control of yourself at all times. Because if you endanger the crew, I hate to say it, but I probably will end up killing you. I'm not saying I am doing it right now, but this cannot happen again. Is this
Speaking
understood?
of which,
They
I'm gonna-
nod.
I'm going to turn towards fuck you and head towards fuck you. And
Ah.
as for you, I'm going to hug fuck you for causing a distraction.
I don't know
Oh,
why.
I really,
Whoa,
because I wasn't there last session, I fully expected the inverse of that.
You
And
saying
I'm very,
I was like, fuck you's burned something important down.
yeah.
I was here last session. I was just thinking, what did he do? What did he do?
So I'm saying thank you in Goblin as I give fuck you a cuddle.
I don't know what happened, but this is weird.
Yeah.
It's what Alvina
alright.
just is like very loud whispering to us.
I think something might have broken in Gwent as well. He was pretty
Okay.
heroic in there.
It is late. You guys have had a long day. You might want to go and have a nap.
I've
What?
missed so much.
Gwen,
I'll go and cook some food, and Alvina just walks off to the kitchen.
I think Gwen hit warp speed at some point there. She disappeared. And was at the honey within the blink of an eye.
We have got enough honey for the job, right?
I
Yes.
believe.
Oh,
Gwen,
Cool.
yeah. Like, I give him the 5 jars. I'm going to go lie down.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I'll
I
bring
can
you.
stop.
You want your dinner in your room?
okay, mission accomplished for task 1.
I'll
Which
put
got the
these in.
checkboard.
Check.
I'll
I
put
would like
these
to
in
have
the.
said that during the whole thing, Assassin's been scraping up all of the honey that had dripped out of Fade's arm and has been like scraping it into a jar. And just being like, oh, so I can stop doing this now? And there's just
Yeah,
like
there's-
clearly bits of twig and
Still
other
do it.
shit
We
in
can
the honey.
still do
There's-
it. We can eat it later.
I mean,
There's a
Yeah.
trail
we're
of
gonna have
bleeding
to
away.
we're gonna have to clean up the deck eventually.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
want
gonna
to
have to
use
clean the car up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's a mess on the back seat of the car there.
Yeah, Fade did a better
Yeah.
job of ruining the Gwentmobile than Assassin did.
Yeah.
Look,
it
my
is a
heart just wasn't
sticky
in
mess.
Yeah. listen. Which one? Which heart?
it. Like 3 of them.
3 of them. Well, that's a lot of hearts not to be in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
You know.
squids have hearts in their backsides?
Yeah, I think they have like
Tentacles.
8.
I think
My
they have one
heart
on each
wasn't in it.
tentacle.
The
don't
chart points at ass.
So yes, as we go off onto a tangent, that's clearly the end of the scene there.
they? Yeah.
The party, exhausted, finds a place for Jones to sleep for the night and go back to their respective rooms to gain the benefits of a long rest.
Yeah.
Gwent and Fukyu, you gain a destiny point because that's how you do a surprise character moment. Well done.
Nice.
It was great. Yeah, I really liked it.
The fact that the party reacted like that is a good indicator.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. Well done.
DM, could I drop a thing off in the points room while they're sleeping? Do you want me to roll a stealth roll or something?
Are you slipping something under the door or trying to actively enter the room?
Oh.
Where the point has like a guillotine trap on his door.
You can give that some thought while we move on to the next thing. I'll come back to
It
that
would
in
be-
a second.
Hmm.
But as the party slumbers down and everything turns to night, which I really should just have like a night mode on this. 1 second, put like a little night filter over it.
Don't you have dark mode?
that doesn't do the actual map. Unfortunately.
There we go.
That is extreme. Everything is grey.
Everything is great, yeah.
Apart from this one tiny square. Down here.
The hell is that?
I know one thing that would work, but I don't know if it's set up correctly and it might break the roll 20. So, because there's like the light system, you can set it to like very, very dim light over the whole thing.
Yeah, you can set like fog of war opacity.
Yeah, to
I remember.
base-
I know what I was doing. That's what it was. I was going to. Because it's not an actual image, I can't put a dark filter over it. God damn it! I forgot I just drew a square. Never mind.
Fair enough.
Trying to do like a dark translucent thing over it, but I realized I can actually only do that if it's an actual like imported image and not if it's a drawn image. So I
Fair enough.
assume that the nice blue. I don't know. I'll work on a night filter background instead of the blue one.
There'll be a black one, it'll just have stars and a moon somewhere, or some equivalent.
Yeah, add it to my to-do list. Have a night filter for the show.
Ship night filter.
But anyway, during the night, as you each go ahead and get your long rest, the camera pans to Lou Grimm, tossing and turning in his bed. As we move closer to Lou, Lou, what is Neil? What is Lou dreaming of? In this continual question I ask you every couple of sessions. Lou Grimm Dreamscape episode.
This time, Lou would be more of a bit of a nightmare of when he dashed at the shrub and got there perfectly, but because he realized he accidentally made a lot of noise,
That's fair.
kind of beating himself up in his nightmares. And the bees started in his dream. The bees start coming down to him, angry as hell.
And the bees, they taunt you and spiral around in your dream as you can feel a presence at the back of your mind, a presence that you're uncomfortably accustomed to at this point, watching you, studying you as they have ever since you arrived here, and even before you arrived in this new world, taking on a new form, but the core of their presence is still the same, as Control watches, studying, listening, in that uncomfortable way that a shadow clings to you. But as they are, you drift your mind back into yourself, into this new power that you've discovered within yourself since coming to this new world, a power which may have always been there but had laid dormant until coming to this new world, where for some reason it seems to be more pronounced in this world. And as you do so, as you look down into yourself, you can see, almost feel inside you, the very ball of essence and power that Noids, or that you've come to know from your very early religious classes that everyone had to attend by the church, that this essence of warmth of divinity inside you, the soul of Annoyed, you can kind of feel energy around it, a shield around the ball of energy in differing majestic
have a logo with
colors
low
and
resolution.
prismatic
Here's how to
hues. And as you're looking down at it, suddenly one of the colors begins getting brighter and brighter. Now, Neil, I'm going to give you the choice here. You can either pick one of the 8 colors that I'm about to give you, or you can roll a d8. Would you like the choice, or would you like it to be random?
That's cool.
I'll go with random.
Yeah!
Keeps the theme going.
It does keep the theme, you know? I like this.
Please don't roll an 8.
Then roll me a d8.
4.
Hey, perfect, the best number.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay.
No, it might just be what kind of magic. It's a lot of...
As you are looking down at your soul, and as you look out into the rest of your dreamlike world, the bees still hovering around, you see that their orange honey-like skin begins almost growing mold in it, or some sort of fungi, or the bees begin to sprout these vibrant emerald greens around their body until they're entirely consumed by it, and no longer are you being harassed by the orange honeybees. You're being harassed by these green jello-like bees now that are hovering around you as the world itself takes on a green hint. As suddenly you are just plunged into a green scale world. And all around you, you can feel energy just wisping around as if there's a static arcane wind blowing through your own dream. You can see the essence of the bees suddenly shatter, and little blobs of jello-sized essence begins just kind of floating out into a sea of debris. Until you hear a voice. Not like a voice you've ever heard before. There's almost a metallic, computerized tone to it, as if what the players would recognize as almost a speech to text or a text to speech, that kind of computerized mechanical voice.
Stephen Hawking thing.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
But that the characters may be familiar with Warforged. There is mechanical technology, and there is other technology from other realms. It will depend entirely on your character, how much you are aware of this voice, but for the sake of the players, that is what the voice is coming through as it doesn't seem to be speaking to you, but it seems to be almost a stream of consciousness, of words that make no sense, as if you're reading randomized words from a text prompter. It mentions things like displacement, adjustment of the velocity, spectral velocity, and continues on with concepts and words that seem to be related to movement, to projection, to displacement and diffusion. You're not entirely sure if there's an active consciousness behind the voice as it speaks to you. But maybe, if you tried to speak to it, maybe it would respond. The question is, unaware of what this voice is, what does Lugrim do? This voice running through their mind in a world of green.
Lou would ask, say, like, President Control, is that you trying to contact me again?
The words seem to almost vibrate slightly. You're not entirely sure if you are actually seeing the words or if you're feeling an imprint of the words, but they almost shift and begin to speed up, then slow down in their rambling through your mind, and you can kind of see in your mind's eye the words taking on form, forcing a projection into your own mind as you imagine a wall of green arcane glyphs suddenly floating past your peripheral. Almost as if you're watching Matrix text.
Hmm.
And
Oh.
in that peripheral, suddenly, like a curtain being drawn on your vision, the world around you suddenly is also now falling with these green arcane glyphs. Maybe it always was. You can see the blobs of green are actually made out of these green characters, and as you look around you, the grass, the trees, they're all made of these green characters, as if the world itself is composed of these small falling digits. As a face forms in the air, not a human face, almost, you wouldn't even really describe it as a face. Yes, it's the Matrix. You've actually seen the Matrix. But almost a construct face, or what appears to be some form of rough hexagonal diamond that seems to have the rough markings of eyes and a mouth, maybe a slight little thick line of a nose, as it seems to tilt its head towards you, floating in midair as the text falls. And it seems to be moving its mouth towards you, speaking, but you're not hearing any words coming from it, only that continual rhythm of background noise that seems like words, but doesn't seem like words at the same time. What does Lou do?
He would say himself, it's like, okay, this doesn't seem like something President Control would do to try and get me back onto his side. But this looks really weird and slightly intriguing. And we try to understand it more.
As you reach out of your mind, trying to comprehend and almost having to take it in, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Come on, Lou, get a good roll. No!
God, nah. Okay, I'm gonna destiny point.
I mean, that'd be a fair one.
Oh my god. I think you failed every intelligence roll we've ever put at point.
He passed one. He passed one with a nat 20. I think that's the only he's passed.
The only one he's passed.
He's extreme pass.
15.
Oh, you know what? It's alright.
Come on.
As you begin searching through, kind of really looking at the face, suddenly you have this weird moment where you're having to go back and forth almost between looking at a tree and looking at a forest. His face itself is made up of characters, and yet you kind of have to take a step back to kind of see the form among the rest of the green text that makes up the rest of the environment. But there's something about it, looking at it, that you feel a sudden surge in your mind, a migraine begin to promenade at the big front of the front of your head, and you can feel sensation of electricity burning into your temples as you look at the text, and suddenly your mind appears to be, well, shifting, burning over your preconceived knowledge. Suddenly the world isn't a ball of chaos. It makes sense. Well, of course it is. It's basic arcana after all. And after all, haven't you always been able to understand it? Haven't you always had proficiency of arcana? As
Yes, I just
everything
forgot.
around you erupts. And now this, what was once a very clear cut, while slightly green landscape, suddenly you are just in a ocean of floating green pixels. The face no longer there, no form taken among it, you're just drifting. And then it begins almost sucking into you, as very quickly the environment begins almost vacuuming into your soul as you pull the very universe around you into you, as your entire soul becomes encased in a very thin sheet of green arcanite, leaving you in a void of black. And then you awaken the next morning. Something slightly different to your magic. But we'll get to that when you next cast a spell. So do remind me when you cast a spell.
Yeah, I might use Tides of Chaos at the same time.
But with that, I'll let you ponder as to the significance of that scene, and hope you all look forward to seeing what happens when Lou next casts a spell.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but it's cool.
But with that, I think we're only going to do the one dream sequence for today. Fate, you were going to drop off something to the point door. You were just fine leaving it on the doorstep?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
the next...
would have like pressed the door, but then remembered the lesson. Don't eat asleep, so don't
Don't
go into
sneak
a room.
into people's...
Don't break
Yeah.
into people's bedrooms.
Yeah, unless it's an emergency.
Before we start off the next day, does anyone else want to do anything during the night, or are we all getting a long rest?
I'm fine just getting a long rest.
Yeah, long rest.
I need it, but I'm fine with getting long.
Very well. Then we begin the morning of the 9th day, and I need to actually check what the morning weather and what the weather is going to be like today, but we're also going to switch to... I'm going to switch over to the Smokeyard map for now, just so you guys can talk and discuss and plot your journey back if you'd like. Each hex, remember, is takes a third of a day on ship.
Yeah.
So you can travel 3 hexes in a day. If you travel 3 hexes, you get to roll a random encounter, because you get to do that once per day. Otherwise, you are a third of way back from the settlement. You need to go to each of these, I want to say, brownish gray spots to get the various core splinters, and the boar territory is up north, where you know is the territory also of the Borag, which you have been heavily advised to not tangle with, as there is a walking mountain and seems to have almost impenetrable skin, or at least anyone who's ever tried to fight it has found that their weapons were insignificant to the giant mountainous creature.
Nope, fight the
Not
mountain
even
pig.
all these people have been greatly exaggerated.
Possibly, but I also don't want to piss off something that has a name that my dragon spirit specifically told me. I think that's the level of, you know what? When it doesn't bring up the names of liches and the Amethyst Knight, and it tells me this pig's name, I'm gonna consider the pig a bit of our league at the moment.
That was clearly just banter between the two of you.
Possibly, but I'm not taking the piss. I trust my pet spirit dragon.
So the green circle, Chris, is that the area, right?
That is Deep Swell. That is the settlement.
Cool. So
the red circles, the size of the circle doesn't matter, right? They're all the same.
Yeah.
Yes, that was originally to denote where the core splinters were. So where the giant stakes, effectively, with the green groves around them, were on the map. Because I didn't actually put them on the map properly.
Fair enough.
We want to grab the 2 southern core splinters first.
I think so. Are they both in the same hex?
I think they're...
These are at the edges of a hex. So I'll do some maths, but if you're going around the circumference of a hex, assume that it's at least twice the distance of going through the diameter.
Okay, so to get those
4.
So to get those 2,
assume it's 3 times, because that's how circumferences work to diameters.
So we can get the 3 southernmost core splinters in 1 day.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd say we do.
Technically slightly less, because you wouldn't need to go down that final line, but it's insignificant, so you know.
Yeah.
We can get the first 3 and be on the way to the the second.
Yeah, I think that's
3.
best if we just get the 3 at the
Mm.
bottom, because then we don't have to come back.
So
Because the boar territory is at the north, so we might as well go south
to,
first.
to get everything, we can get everything, the boars and the core splinters,
Boars and the cow.
in 2 days, and be back the morning of, or the afternoon of day 3, which is so this is day 9, or have we just had day 9? So this is day 10 now, and we've got until day 14, right?
Day 14 is when it's arriving, but remember it is a day's travel through the tunnels, and you also have to defeat a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to be back by at least day 13.
Yeah, day 12.
We have to be back by the end of day 12. So, yeah, we can do that, providing we don't get waylaid or attacked, or we get blown off course by the weather, essentially.
When we get waylaid, attacked, and blown, of course, by the weather. All 3.
We can be back. And also, depending on how quickly they make these things, if they need to braise the ribs for, like, 24 hours, it's like,
we'll get the ribs out on the way back at that point, okay?
We'll get them to go, thank you very much.
Ribs do give us a bonus, though.
Yeah,
but... But the thing is, Alvina just wants to eat them. She doesn't care about the bonus. If we get all the materials, they'll give us the info, and we'll pick up the food on the way back when we're leaving.
Yeah.
So we're agreed. This one first, and there.
That's the most southern one. We go.
Yeah.
Bam. Bam.
There.
That southernmost, then the second southernmost, then the third southernmost. Then we can go up and grab that one probably, because next we're in the boar territory, or close enough that we can probably make it pretty quick.
We can get the boar, and then the final one, and then
we also have everything ready in case the pig can fly or something crazy, and it starts coming after us. I've learned.
No, pigs can fly.
This one might.
Only this place.
This one might. It's a divine pig.
What are the
I'm concerned about it until now.
Of course.
What do the core splinters do, Chris?
Explode.
People in them as well.
Every once in a while, you're not actually sure if there's a schedule. Most people haven't been able to tell you. They will periodically explode like a porcupine, and will scatter effectively seeds in the surrounding area. Only these seeds are giant spear-like stakes of wood. As well as the seeds will then grow with various trees and groves, which makes these things so invasive, and has to be like beaten back or eaten by whatever wildlife is there.
So
as well as that, they also seem to have various natives, either animals or tribes, living in them.
So why are we getting them? Are they
because they're tasty?
Because we need them for
make
the ribs.
Yeah.
They didn't. I don't think they specified why to do with the making of the ribs, but they need them, so we're going to provide them.
It's for smoking them. You use various things to smoke things.
Gotcha. They burn different types of wood, basically. It tastes different. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's why they want one of each.
Cool, fine with that. That's cool, I like that. That's appropriate. I'm also having ribs tonight for dinner, by the way, so this is great.
Then if we were to start with the pigs, if we were to fly just straight up and get the pigs and then work our way down, we could drop off the pigs and the honey so that they could start the basting process. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking too much like a cook here. Let's just stick to the plan. My bad.
Let's just get the plan, it's easier.
Yeah. Let's just get everything.
This is a basic game mission.
Right.
So
we hand it all over and it just happens. We get it back immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, assume they do magic cooking and that's it.
Yeah, magic cooking! Ooh.
Alright, so, if there's no objections. Cool. For note, also, it appears as you get further into the day, it is lovely, clear skies.
Hey,
lovely.
A lovely summer day. It's actually, it's also getting exceedingly warmer each day.
I mean, that's just real. That's too real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says it's going to be 40 here next week, by the way.
Cool.
It's not going to be 40.
It says here, the schedule is here.
Crow, just speak, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'd like to have been presenting the crew with a thing that I made yesterday. I've snuck off into the kitchen and I am presenting my brand new recipe, honey mushroom skewer.
Ooh, actually, that's pretty good.
Mm.
It has a distinctly terrible texture, but once you get past that, it's not bad.
Well, it's the presentation that
It's like-
counts.
Sorry.
Is it like chewing
Sorry,
on
say
one
that
of
again.
those old
It's got a
rubber bouncy
terrible
beans?
flavor.
No,
Oh,
it's got
yeah,
terrible
that
texture,
sounds very
but the
familiar.
flavor's
Ah.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember a
Alvina
curry
knows
being
it!
like this.
Alvina loves it!
Yeah.
Surprise.
See, does it?
See if she
Does
liked
it
it.
cost?
You Assassin will say no, because what the rest of the party doesn't know is that they'll present Alvina at last. They have to make sure that it's good before they give it to Alvina. But ultimately, this is who they're seeking core approval from for the food. So everyone else is guinea pig, and then handed to Alvina. And when she's like, "I love this," there is a little spark of joy.
Aw.
So the point would probably take a bite, give a thumbs up, and then spit it out when you weren't looking.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just
Alvina
like-
legitimately loves it.
I encouragement, but just like, oh dear God, please never feed me that again. Energy.
It's Aragorn eating Eowyn stew.
Yeah.
See?
Yep. Yep.
It's not much, but it's hot.
Or
It's not much. It's
Yep.
Meliodas cooking.
Yeah, Alvina loves it. I imagine the texture.
Yeah.
It's when you say the texture's terrible. I imagine it's just really tough, and Alvina just doesn't notice. She just brute forces through it.
Oh yeah,
this
like
is fantastic.
extremely tough mushroom, extremely like sticky sauce energy.
Yeah, and everyone else is like, "This is hard to bite through," and Alvina just powers through. It's like, "This is great."
What do you mean?
She bites through the stick it's on as well, and doesn't
Yeah.
know it.
There we go, sorted.
Yeah,
I'll
I
tell you.
liked it.
I'll get back to you in a minute. I'm kind of flying.
Yeah, but like this is why I put it on the stick. And, like you see a stick get like raised up to like mouth height as you're steering. But you just gotta nom.
I'm imagining you're doing like the pushing it into like his mouth. Just
Here
like,
comes the
smushing it.
aeroplane.
Yeah, like
Comes the airship.
like there's the pause of, hey, do you want to try some food? Great. Like not even like at like full confirmation, just here you go.
No, I'm actually casting a spell on it whilst you're trying to feed it to me, because fuck it. And by the time the minute's up, I say, "Look, I can't eat it. It's alive."
7! It just runs away! Your food is escaping!
Get away from me. You'll have to go catch it, assassin.
That's a rare mushroom.
Yeah, I don't think they're supposed to do that. I'll be right back. Just like
The food isn't supposed to sprout legs and run away.
I don't think so. In my knowledge, I don't think food is supposed to do that, but I can't be too sure.
Does the dog man chase it?
Yes.
Yeah!
Oh, please don't eat it.
Please do. I need more feedback.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, don't eat that. It's too good.
It's
Look.
alive!
It is also alive.
But is it sentient? We eat plenty of things that are alive.
I think we've already had the argument that we're not doing that.
we said not animal cruelty, it's a
we've done that
fungus with
disclaimer
legs.
already.
Okay,
we said
okay,
animal
okay.
cruelty, it's a fungus with legs, it doesn't count.
Okay,
mentally
I feel-
pro-
Yeah.
I
I
mentally
fully
brought it
understand.
to go give.
I fully understand the
Assassin nothing.
ethics. I fully understand the ethics of food consumption as Assassin picks up a spear and charges towards the mushroom. I will transition the scene from there.
Yeah.
The mushroom goes to give you a hug. I've prompted it to give you a hug.
Oh,
Yeah, well, it's just been skewered now.
It's like, oh, it's adorable! Stab!
As you approach the
What's
first
this
of
AC?
the core splinters,
Yes.
who knows? As you approach the first of the core splinters, you can see that the growth here is slightly different. Whereas previously Previously, there were stripes and dots of orange among emerald leaves. This one has a much more autumn look to it. There's much more browns and oranges, or more dulled oranges rather than the vibrant honey orange that you previously saw. And you can see what looks to be almost occasionally a couple of the trees popping out of the grove rooftop that look to be kind of reminiscent of coconut trees. I forgot what they're called. Palm trees.
Palms. Yeah.
There you go. Reminiscent of palm trees, and on them you can see what looks to be, or definitely Alvina and anyone with other high perception, what look to be almost coconut-sized walnuts hanging from them in clusters of 3 to 4. And just out of the corner of your eye, Alvina, and anyone else with high passive, you see small movement and shifting among the treetops. Occasionally you'll see something crawl out of the rooftop across the grove around this tree, this wooden spike, and a small dot kind of scurry up the what appears to be slightly taller palm tree to the rest of the grove. Grab one of the giant walnuts and then quickly scamper out of sight back under the tree grove. As the ship is approaching, what is the party's plan for locating the ideal premium cast-off and retrieving it? Let's see how efficient your delivery can be, and I'll replicate this to the other ones as well. But for the first one, how is the party actually locating, finding, and retrieving this item?
I could always commune with nature and ask which is the best one. And its location.
You could, but you'd be limited on how many of that you could do.
Yeah. I'm going to see if anyone else has a more efficient option. It is a option, but it's once per day kind of thing. So
you have been given a description of what the cast-offs look out like.
Okay.
They effectively are giant spears, and you're looking for one that hasn't started to sprout.
okay, that's a good.
So
I'll take that. It's good.
The closer it is to its pure form, the more rich the flavor that can be invoked by smoking it, or using it to smoke an item. Not actually like smoking
Rather
it.
than smoking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be used as wood for fire.
There.
To be used as wood for fire, basically.
While they will, they can accept the ones that are sprouting, and to be fair, that's generally what they use. In order to get the best effect, they want you to try and find one as pure as possible. And worst case scenario, if you haven't found one that has recently, cast away recently. We use that terminology there.
Erupted, let's go with.
Erupted recently.
Yeah.
Yep. You should be able to find fresh ones actually in the root of the spire itself. Potentially above the tree grove, depending on how high it is, but definitely further down the body of the actual core spire or core splinter.
I think Alvina will, at least the star, but she'll be just scanning the whole thing, trying to spot one if there's just a really obvious one.
Yeah, that's fair.
We've seen them before. Like, would they have shown us what they look like?
Imagine there's been a picture or something.
Yes, they would have a couple stockpiled in the lumberyard back in the settlement. They are effectively canoe-sized splinters.
I mean, I can locate object.
Okay.
Ooh, how specific can that work?
And how
1,000 feet of me.
and how often can you do that a day?
I
can-
see how, if I had that prepared as well, but I don't.
I can do that 3 times a day.
Does anyone else have it as well?
No,
We
I
have
don't.
one. We've got 2 people with it, so.
To add to that, given that you'd be looking for quality of the item, I will allow it, but I will require a nature check for you to understand those like inherent differences in qualities to be really specific about gaining the high quality one.
Mhm.
Simply because you're stretching the spell a little bit when it comes to the quality of items.
It's fair.
In that case, I will do it 2 times a day. I suppose I could upcast it, but I don't want to.
Don't know what you might accidentally encounter in this place. All right. Well, as you're approaching, Alvina, go ahead and roll me a perception check just to see if you spot any recently. While I go ahead and roll a fate die to determine when it recently cast away.
It's not awful.
Unfortunately, there aren't any convenient ones that hasn't recently erupted. You haven't just like arrived right afterwards, and it's just splattered with premium.
Yeah.
If only we hadn't killed that queen bee, we would have been in time.
But as you're looking around, you're confident that this one doesn't seem to have any sticking out of the top of the spire above the grove rooftops. And there aren't any in your peripheral around the grove. If there are any, they're slightly deeper into the grove. With that, would Gwent like to make a nature check as you cast your spell?
I'm going to give myself proficiency first.
Yeah, good call.
Just bear with me a second as I change that to proficiency. Because that is very useful to have. Now my nature is slightly better than 1.
Yeah, better than my -2, dude. Hell yeah!
Ooh, nice.
That was the guidance. Never mind.
Oh yeah, I mean, so many of you have guidance. Just assume that if you're doing a social or a skill check outside of combat and not trying to be stealthy, you can just add guidance. It's fine, guys. It's one of those things that at the DM convention we all just agree of, like, they're just going to use it. There's no reason not to just accept it. It's the benefit of having a cleric artificer or anyone else with access to guidance.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you not if you had it in real life?
Yeah, I know, right?
Every second, just, oh, what am I doing next? Ding!
Guidance.
Slightly better.
It also plays in because you also channel your god to gain proficiency in this knowledge.
Is it in Gwent's case? Is that headlock your god to gain proficiency?
I like to imagine Gwent is just muttering under their voice, like swearing at someone the party can't see or is aware of, threatening like this is the only way you'll get what you want. Give me the goddamn knowledge. But yes, you succeed, and not only do you suddenly have your mind flooded with just an innate sense of. Previously, you were in the dark. You had no idea what's the difference between a premium piece of wood, and then suddenly, it all clicks. It all makes it perfect. Of course, you know exactly. Like, and you just start being able to determine these very minute differences that to the layman watching you, if you ever start sprouting the knowledge, will just stare at you with a vacant expression of, what the hell are you talking about? But you find one that actually seems to have gotten caught amongst the lower branches of one of the trees slightly further out. It looks like or at least with your understanding of knowledge in nature and your seeming knowledge of how these very specific and unique and rare types of trees work. What is that, 26 now?
Yeah.
You also understand that the core splinters will actually not bloom unless they make contact with the earth.
Most plants don't.
Oh. No, some do actually. So that's really good to know.
And there seems to be almost a primordial connection to these splinters, where they seem to have an innate sense of the elements around them, to the point where they will not sprout or bloom unless they are connected to something they recognize as elemental earth.
I've got an idea.
But that's to your favor, as you are able to find one that has gotten stuck among some previously grown trees and is kind of just hovering on a branch or two in midair, not blooming, and seemingly never going to bloom unless it falls down. The question, though, while you have a complete direction of how to get there, and you're fairly confident that maybe there's only like 10, 15 foot of like bush to get through if you want to go from above down, or it's about maybe 5-10 minute walk underneath the grove to get to it. You're not entirely sure how you would get through it. I mean, apart from the obvious ways of its bush, could burn it, necrotic it, who knows.
I have an idea, and it's just dumb enough it might work.
Oh no.
Sorry,
Oh,
do
no.
we? You say we don't want it to sprout, will we?
No.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it loses its quality if it blooms. Because
So they're
the
going to plant it
nutrient-
there.
No, they're
No,
not.
they
They're going to
don't
plant. They're going
plant
to burn it.
Yeah, they just burn it. It's wood,
Oh,
James. They're burning it to smoke something.
right.
We're not
'Cause
cultivating corpse pies in the middle of the town.
Okay.
Because
No.
I didn't get that.
as
So
a chef, you know how fish is smoked, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you plant it in the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
that's how
Yeah,
you
you
make
roll
that
Put
weird.
it under
weird-
some
that
UV
weird
lights.
That's how you make that weird Scandinavian shit they keep in cans that can kill you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How the party like to retrieve it.
the dumb idea that Alvina has.
Let's hear it.
We tie several ropes to Alvina.
No.
She grabs it and we crane her back up to the ship, which means we never have to go and touch the ground and spend 15 minutes fighting our way through everything there. It's actually a dumb plan, but it might actually work.
We have
can
enough
cast
rope.
levitate on Alvina.
Also, we can cast levitate. I
Or
didn't
just
know we
fly.
had.
Or
Oh,
just
I
fly, yeah.
could just fly down, and I'm flying right now.
I mean, it seems to be the obvious choice, the flying guy.
Remember
next
that
to
the
us.
other part of the problem was that it's 10 to 15 foot of bush that you need to either hack your way through or burn your way through.
yeah, that's essentially why I thought Alvina do it, because you could just take both
Go weed
swords
whacker.
down. But it's just weird.
If you chop a bush, you could lodge it loose. I pull out the dragon creature and also conjure the mage hand, which is invisible, but I give it a high five.
But
Good
does
ideas.
would your mage hand be
What would
able
a
to get
dragon?
through?
It's a tiny mechanical dragon. How is this helpful?
How big is it, Chris?
The size
It's
of
the
a
size of a
canoe.
canoe. It's like 20. It's like
Oh,
15 feet long.
Right.
It is the size of a canoe, and also it is effectively a wall of plant that is in your way. There is no way to squeeze through it.
I have another idea. I have been working on a spell. It
The corner of
essentially
everyone's
allows
eye, by
me
the way,
to-
Jones is just hanging from the rigging at the front of the ship, about near the bow, and you just see his tongue wagging as the ship is sailing through the air.
Are
Hell
you-
yeah. I like this one a lot.
I was
Are you
thinking
okay
dog
there?
touch.
Let him be. This is what my dog used to do.
Your dog was a blink dog, for fuck's sake.
And? Still a dog! Totally
It's
counts!
unreal.
I think it
No,
was
we've
trying to get-
evidently there are.
I think it was trying to get away from you.
No, it was adorable. And
Right,
also
I'm
it's like
gonna give you guys 5 seconds while I quickly step away. So continue discussing how you're getting. Remember, wall of tree
Yes.
for
You need to
anyone
cut
attempting
through
to think
things.
through it.
yeah,
Wall
that's,
of tree. Assume wall of tree.
I mean,
Unless,
that's
unless
why I
you have
assumed send Alvina down, because she can literally, she's got the dual wielding, so she can cut through it faster. She's strong enough to probably lift it.
Hmm.
And essentially and also she can sheathe both her weapons in one for free. So
yeah.
there's no downside for her to do it, and she can grab it.
I mean, we.
So
could-
it's-
we
I'm
could
more
just have
concerned
sort of-
about you just knocking it down. So I think fade elemental underneath it at least to catch
We-
it
We
potentially.
could both go down, and
Yeah.
I could go underneath, and
Make
Or
sure it
shake it.
doesn't fall. And
I could
can
shake it
probably-
loose, and you could catch it or something.
Now, I think that sending you down as in case it starts falling, you catch it, is
'Cause
a
you can
is a
fly.
good plan. Because you can fly, so you can go down easy. I have it in the rope, so we literally have everybody else just apart from whoever's flying.
I mean, we can cast
Basically
fire.
hoisting me up. I know, but basically I thought if we have one person doing it, or we can have everybody do it, it's definitely going to succeed.
And if we keep on having to spend fly. On
Also,
every
yes, we're
fire-
going
Yeah,
to
we
do
had
this
about
like
thinking
5
of.
times today. We're going to do
I've-
this 3 times today at minimum.
I've got 4 hours worth of flying per day for free.
Yeah, that's why we have you do the one thing, but instead of casting up on Alvina, this one is one I don't think we need Fly to do it.
Yeah,
For some of the other ones, we might need Fly to do it.
Mhm.
This one is doable, I think, with brute force, essentially. That's my argument.
How heavy does it look?
It's a big chunk. Is it like a 15-foot chunk of wood? It'd be pretty heavy, but we can probably manage it.
500 pounds? 2 people, probably heavier than that.
No, but I doubt it's 500 pounds, honestly. It might be like 300-400 probably. It'd be hefty. I think it's more like rough gauge, Chris. How heavy does it look?
It is porous, so probably half the weight of an actual canoe.
Oh, that's easy then.
So,
Like
so
less than
anyone's-
100
Anyone
pounds.
higher than a 14 strength can easily lift it.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
that's like less than 100 pounds probably. Then. So yeah, we can do it pretty easy. We just
yeah.
I basically abseil Alvina down. I grab it and I get towed back up with Fade underneath, making sure that if it falls, they can catch it.
We have enough rope to do this as well, though.
Yes.
I mean, probably.
Because
That
We-
will depend on how low Zormir can fly the ship.
I have every confidence in your ability to pilot, and if all else fails, we can tie the rope to the rope to the rope to the rope.
Don't we still have some chains as well?
We still have my chains as well, but I don't think they're long enough.
All right, so we're lowering Alvina down. You mentioned something going underneath it.
We have it sending Fade underneath in case I accidentally, like, chop through the forest too efficiently and it drops, essentially.
All right, fair. Then Zormir, I'm going to need a flying check, which I believe. God, what was it? I need to standardize the damn flying rules.
This
Isn't
one
it
I'd
wisdom?
say it'd be precision once, it'd be probably dex. Oh, annoyingly.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually write this out. Charting is intelligence with proficiency. Charting. Precision flying will be strength for dex with proficiency.
Ah, nice.
You can have a bardic inspiration, which manifests as a small glowing neon point floating
Okay, this is
around.
going to
again.
be a skill challenge, so I'm going to need Zormir to give me a strength or dex flying check with proficiency, since you are proficient in air vehicles. I'm going to need Fade to give me a survival check if they are navigating underneath it to find the right spot. And
Ugh.
I am going to need Alvina. You were just hacking away, right? In that case, I'm going to need either a strength check or a attack roll.
I will take an attack roll.
I'm not good at survival.
I'll give
And
you
Stormy
bardic
gets
inspiration
guidance as well.
+4.
Oh, I'd reckless it, but I think a 22 probably is fine.
Yeah, you don't want to like, destroy it.
There's a 4 on top of that for
So
proficiency.
17.
17. No, I would
And-
say that makes
okay.
makes the DC. Pascal, yeah. 17 already makes it. You're not doing anything particularly challenging. You're mostly just trying to get it close enough without accidentally crashing the ship.
Mhm.
So there'll be no any penalties or anything to the DC on Wolfie's check, which easily makes the DC. And what's Fade was doing survival to navigate, right?
Yes.
Where's there? Oh, there we go. You were able to easily locate the actual splinter with the directions that you were given, and the party is able to cut their way through and gain the actual spike. As you're doing so, Alvina,
Mhm.
you catch movement out of the corner of your eye. As you're lowering down, you're just hacking your way through until finally you break through the brush and you're able to actually see this giant spear-like canoe-sized spear hovering between two branches. You catch movement out of the left corner of your eye, and as you glance to your left, you come face to face with this small monkey-like creature staring at you. Only as you kind of take it in, while it is kind of monkey-sized proportioned, almost slightly bigger than a small monkey. I don't know. I can't think
Little
of any.
capuchin type thing.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But instead of the two arms, you actually see that it seems to have 4 upper limbs. So
Is it?
two arms on either side, but they end in what appears to be almost tentacles, without the suction. So they seem to end in tendril appendices.
Is
Do
it
you know
like
Assassin?
Yeah.
It stares at you. Give me an animal handling check.
You can speak with beasts, though.
I have to ritual
you know.
cast that.
All right.
I can speak with bees, doesn't mean I'm currently able to. 17!
Yeah.
I'll take that!
It does like a tiny little screech. It doesn't quite scream in your face, which it would have done if you'd failed.
Yeah.
But does a little bit of like a
Aw.
only it opens its mouth just enough for you to realize and recognize that it also doesn't have a regular mouth. It seems to have a 4-split maw. And through it, with your
monkey.
amazing perception, you can see that in its maw it has row upon row of circular teeth, as if you're looking into a blender.
This is adorable.
And then
Oh,
it swings
God.
away, leaving you to your business.
That was cute. And I continue on with my job. It's like, that was adorable. And I carry on.
Down
I'm
on the
assuming-
ground. Did I
Have a
see
new
that?
pet.
No, I didn't tame it. Not this one. I've got a job to do. I'll do it on my own time.
But yes, you naturally have the strength that you don't need to make a check. You can
Yeah.
easily lift up the device. I suppose give me either an acrobatics or sleight of hand to grab it without dropping it, because while the strength is an issue, there is a likelihood that you could drop it, and
That's
we
good.
might have to make Fade try and grab it.
Eep.
19.
Thank
You're able
goodness.
to very easily, with your very acrobatic form, kind of dive down and fully encompass it as you get tugged back up.
What
And
answer?
Fate watches as you just drop from the sky, grab it, and then start abseiling back up towards the ship. As the party has successfully gained their first core splinter from the. God, what even did I? Is
Autumn
the
one.
walnut tree? It's just the walnut
It's
splinter.
walnut tree. I've got walnut core splinter. Nice.
That makes sense.
It's a
Yeah.
walnut splinter.
like
For
that.
giant walnuts.
Yeah.
Yes, the party returns to their ship, having successfully achieved the first splinter.
Hey,
First, can someone write that into the stockpile? I'll call it for now. That we have the walnut one. Onto the Excel sheet.
5 to go.
Hell yeah.
yay.
And also,
I say we didn't need to use fly. I say it's like, this one I don't think we need it.
Mhm.
how much was it deducted for pets again?
Mm.
For rations? For
Yeah.
what?
For
I don't
rations.
know. Ask me after session. By which I mean, ask me before next session, because I'm immediately gonna want food and stop thinking about D&D after the session.
You get
Alright.
that. Remember, Amy doesn't need to eat because they photosynthesize.
Jones will.
Yeah, I do. Jones.
Yeah.
Jones isn't a pet, right? Just for clarification.
No,
Jones
they
eats
are
human
Noid. They
Yeah.
require the Noid
We
rations.
don't know this
Oh, yeah.
yet.
I was basically wanting to ask. Well, I fed him, I'm assuming, yesterday because I said I was cooking for everybody.
Yeah.
So Alvina knows.
But yes, you begin getting into pre-noon as you head off from the walnut tree, having come across these strange creatures that, if described to Gwen, who I don't know how long your nature thing lasts for, but there's residual lingering memories, you learn was a bark crawler.
Out an hour.
Oh, Alvina would have asked you, since you were spouting off random knowledge about nature. She'd go, "Do you know what this thing is?" and describe it.
For those interested, it is a beast.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't ask me
always
for its
wondered-
stat block,
Oh yeah, it's a tiny
Oh,
monkey
I'm
with tentacles.
definitely gonna be asking for a stab block.
because don't ask me for its stat block today.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was supposed to just screech at you then run away. It is just a regular ass like CR1 beast.
See all one. It's a bear.
It has blender-like teeth. It does do a little bit of damage. It can hurt you as much as a bear. Might not be as strong, but it's quick.
It can hurt you in other ways.
It can hurt you in other ways.
Emotionally.
It knows all your secrets.
Oh, that's
As the
just
party
not cute.
swings towards the white ash core splinter, you can see that this is one of the ones that is giving off multiple plumes of smoke in this beautiful white ashiness.
Oh, this is the one I smelled previously, wasn't it? I think it was
Maybe.
this one. I think this. I smelled one of them, and it smelled like actual. But one of them actually smelled like something.
But as well as that, you can also see several instances of movement among the groves, especially the outer groves, as you spot again these small, hooded and robed, black-furred creatures, which you've come to know as tree raiders. The Ewoks.
I know this
How
is the
would the party-
red one. It's the red one, apparently, I smelled.
Ah, that would make sense. The berry red one. It's got a beautiful red berry smell to it. How would the party like to locate the next splinter?
Alvin is going to use eyes again to just see if we happen to get lucky. It's always worth checking.
Yeah.
That's fair,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Gwen's going to look as well, if you don't mind.
Perception
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, Gwen's got way higher perception than me, but I've got the telescopic vision. 20! Natural 20! A 32 from Gwen and natural 20 from Alvina. Nice!
You immediately find a pile of these beautifully laid out, almost actually, they appear to be in some sort of pen almost. There appears to be half a dozen of these splinters in a pen just sitting outside the grove, almost just waiting there.
As if of a sacrifice or payment.
Who knows?
Or storage, possibly. Because I don't think they expect anyone to fly in and steal them. Because why?
What would the party like to do?
Fly in and steal one.
Yeah, fly in and steal all of them, not one.
Well, we only need one. Let's not be
We
greedy.
only need one.
Yeah, well, come on now.
Steal two. One for the quest, one to
One for
plant
us!
somewhere we don't like.
What?
Does Merida have like a grappling hook we can just shoot down and then fly
Merida
by?
does not have... So,
Yet.
Merida does not have a grappling hook. I can make a grappling hook.
Sweet.
Using
You
magic.
can fire for Merida?
I can create anything that's less than 60 GP.
I think how much does a grappling hook cost? What's the going rate?
Let me just check. It says here less than 60 GP because it's
Sweet.
a fucking grappling hook.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I don't want to think about it.
the point just starts playing on Merida, and just seemingly from out of Merida comes these neon lights, which kind of meld together and form a grappling hook that seems to play its own music.
That's fair, and luckily you also placed a turret holder on the bow of the ship. I'm going to need a ranged attack roll
Okay.
as you attempt to lance one of these core splinters.
Am I proficient with this?
With Merida, yes.
Okay.
This would be Dex as well.
Yes, this would also be dexed. Also, I can hear myself. Hello. Hello.
Okay.
I think it's the
Jesus.
point.
Oh, is it me?
Maybe.
Hello.
I think the point missed.
Do you have?
Yeah,
any
I'm gonna destiny that.
It didn't explode at least.
I have to assume but it is muted. I'm just gonna close it. Better?
Hello.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Seems to me.
Seems fine. Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
wait 1 second. Let me just let me talk for a little bit. Oh yeah, there you go. It stopped now.
It was
I
evident.
just
The stream
closed
must
the
have been like
stream.
very low volume or something.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
Hey, maybe it's a plank of wood. You might hit it with a 10.
I'm okay with burning my destiny. Oh, there! Giving him pointing out
Okay, another
proper
one.
aiming as being a long range fighter as well.
I will let them do this with advantage then, since you are also steering the ship and would have a direct impact.
So
on
is this advantage including two I've already done, or one more roll?
I'll let you do one more at advantage, since you
Okay.
are having multiple people twist fate to help you with this.
There we go.
it. And the
finally.
advantage just in case it's a nat. No, it's 7. It's 23 twice.
Convenient.
It's meant
It was
to be.
very 23.
Nice,
Hey, that's
as you're able to hit in as I'm just imagining Zormir kind of like just tilts the ship, like giving you a direct aim at it. As you're able to lance 2 of them and pull them back up with the same hit.
Nice.
As the party continues on without having to even slow the ship down as you do a drive-by hook.
Drive-by loot. Bam! Nice
Ooh.
shot point. As I'm assuming
Thanks.
Alvin is helping tow it back.
Thanks. Let's ignore the 2 that I missed.
It's fine. I didn't see them.
Which technically only happened in parallel universes. So,
Exactly.
Exactly. You
There are
head
other
towards
universes.
the Southern Pine Core Splinter.
That just seems like a Jack Sparrow moment of Silver.
It's. You remember this is the day that you almost caught a point.
Point.
I really just rewatched all those movies.
Just looking back at the pile, just in case we're being followed, or there's repercussions for the village, because that one was quite close to the settlement. Does anyone see us flying away? Does anyone come out to that pen?
Not that you can see.
And Alvina doesn't care enough to look back. Okay.
Yep.
As the ship very quickly moves ahead and you lose the vision on it.
Next.
Yes, how would you like to, well actually, go ahead and give the Alvina, roll me another perception check.
Heck yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Gwen's already pointed out that there's just absolutely none in view that you concur with, as I rolled a 6 on your fate die.
Yeah, it has been a while, this one.
But with that, you also noticed that this one also seems to have the smallest grove of the group. And you can see very clearly there appears to be large, almost cart tracks through a valley back to where you came from. And it occurs to you that this one is actually probably one of the ones that is most finely like farmed or mined by the rebellion. It didn't look like the White Ash, since they had natives in it, wasn't probably being mined as much by the rebellion in some sort of diplomatic, let's not piss off the locals. Whereas this one, you actually don't notice any movement in it. It appears to be a more quiet grove. But
Is it
with that,
is this the red one? I can't remember which one was the red one that I smelled.
I know the red one is top to the left. It's be the one after this, effectively.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Does it?
So they have, the rebellion already has some of these ones.
But the rebellion
No.
wants one more.
Yeah, they want another one.
Well, we can swing back. There's none here now, so we can swing back on the way
There's
back
none that
down.
you can visibly see. There is a
Yeah.
a much smaller, probably like a third of the size of the other groves,
Right.
like very tightly packed around it. But it looks like you can also see several cut down tree trunks. There's the word I was looking for. You can see large swaths of cut tree trunks around the outer perimeter, as if this one is being heavily farmed.
Sounds
Go
like
for the
the
unit.
job for an away team.
That kind of checking.
So, I
What's Stormir doing?
Oh no, it's just assuming it's that kind of checking we'll be doing. Investigation to find.
manually.
Yeah.
So Alvina's going to go. Well, this is the last one we're getting to today, right, guys?
Should be, yeah.
I'm going to ask the Magic
Yes.
Dragon.
Checks the sun. Sun is getting real low.
Yeah, I'm going to ask the Magic Dragon.
Sun's getting
That's
That's fair. With that, this
Yes.
is probably the optimum chime of Alvina. Roll me a d6 for a random encounter.
D6, right?
No one's.
On a 1 or a 2.
Six.
Very well. Go ahead and
if it
ask
were
your
a
question.
one,
I just need to get up Commune with Nature again so I can remember what the hell I specifically can ask.
bodies of water.
I know
Enemies.
3 questions, but specifically the ones. Okay. Knowledge of 3 facts of your choice. Okay, so the location of the best, basically cast-off core splinters that are in the area.
Very well.
It's a plant, right? So.
Yeah. For the purpose of the spell, yes. And for D&D categories, yes.
Yeah.
Well aware to people watching that, yes, a bark isn't a plant. Congratulations, well done.
It's close enough.
It is a D&D.
Yeah. I would also ask about. I said there weren't natives, but there could be some creatures around. Any prevalent animals in the area? Would I be able to ask Orb about whether the core splinter is imminently about to explode?
Yes, you could ask that.
Yeah. That'll be my 3 questions. Any noteworthy animals, the location of the best cast-offs, and whether things are literally about to detonate and we're going to all die if we go down there.
That's fair. The only prominent animal that seems to be in here are smaller critters. A creature that pings to you as a splinter hog, which you get the image of kind of similar to a hedgehog. It's small and domicile, but with slightly longer quills and that are made of wood.
It's a wooden hedgehog, I love it. I'm not keeping one of those as a pet. I've smelled hedgehog shit.
As well as several other smaller creatures such as a pine squirrel or 1 or 2 other things that I don't have at the top of my list.
Small,
fairly
safe animals, basically. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Woodland critters.
Yeah, woodland critters.
Oh, the woodland critters are very scary.
Those are the happy tree friends. The happy tree friends.
You find that the best premium splinters appears to be actually in the tree, and as you ask if the tree is likely or about to explode, it looks like this one has a very long waiting period in between explosions.
Cool down, basically.
Gestation.
Very long.
Gestation, that's what.
That word, because words no work on Fridays.
Yeah.
It's okay, Chris.
I wasn't saying it wasn't okay.
How dare you?
Yeah,
So the ones that inside basically is the ones we're gonna get.
It doesn't look like this one else is going to explode for another week or 2.
Okay.
Oh, we tried.
So I've asked the dragon. The only ones we can find that are good are inside.
Or at least on the outer edges of it. They have this process where they kind of start peeling off the actual spine itself, lower down, and kind of start peeling into this flower-like shape as it goes up, as it starts maturing. So you're able to kind of sweep down and just kind of grab it out of its peeling.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, with that, because there are no dangerous animals here, and this would just be a matter of time, you find nothing to challenge or oppose you as you go about this and are able to take your time and grab it with the remainder of the day. With that, unless everyone would like to leave the ship and go grab it, we can just say 1 or 2 characters go grab it, and you guys can do whatever you want on the ship for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm happy Alvina and we're gonna grab Alvina and maybe Gwent and a couple of people, just the faster ones, to just go run, get it quick, and come back.
Yeah.
It's easier.
I'm gonna have. I'd like a conversation with the assassin at some point.
Yeah, you guys all actually have free-flowing dockets, so let's go around the round table, see if anyone wants to do anything before we go to bed. Alvina, anything you want to do before heading to bed?
No, for this one, I'm just gonna cook everyone a meal and then just be happy, go to bed, and take a watch when needed, obviously. But yeah, go.
Perfect. Zormir, do you want to do anything before you want to go to bed?
Yeah, conversation with assassin at some point before I park up the ship for the night.
I repeat
Yep,
my.
we'll come back to that.
Eh?
Fuku, anything you want to do before heading to bed?
So Fucky wants to try carve a few splinters off the core spires.
Of course.
Obviously, it would have to be the pine one that you're at, but you can go with the way team and carve as many as you want.
Well,
within
it'd be the one
reason.
on the ship.
You mean the splinters?
Yeah, the core splinters.
Oh, the one we already got. Okay,
Yeah.
you just want to like get a shaving off it.
Want to get a few shavings off all of them to feed to sort of, just to see if it does
Oh,
anything.
that's actually a
What
cool
happens?
idea. I like that. Yeah.
Fair. You do so. We'll get
Ah.
back to that in a second.
I hope it's like
But-
incense.
I imagine it would be that.
Oh,
So you want to
fun.
make like a wooden voodoo doll of Big Toe.
No.
Gwen, anything you want to do before bed?
No, I'm going to give Squidge another little thing and then just pour some water on it and then go to bed.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Assassin's Tentacle.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
When a good boy. Yeah,
Name is
their name's
Squidge.
Squidge.
Good to know. And it's what the fuck
Yeah,
did you do last time? It's like I thought Assassin wasn't here last time. What did I miss?
I mean, I was sitting there thinking, what the fuck did I just miss?
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't figure out who Squidge was.
Did we all miss a session?
Oh, I think
Things are happening.
yeah. Gwent is trying to kill Assassin's Tentacle
I forgot about that.
for some reason.
I
If
could think
my
of a few.
knowledge is correct. Yeah.
I give a few reasons.
Luke Grimm, anything you want to do before bed? We'll never know.
No.
really
So long time contemplating. This
So mental no.
But Lou Grimm spends about 2 hours in his room thinking, you know what? Oh shit, everyone's gone to bed now. Oh well, never mind. It can wait till
yeah,
tomorrow.
been there.
I think it's
Thank
more
you,
Yeah.
one from me.
That's fine.
contemplating. I prepared
Other
before
than-
I go to bed.
Other than hang out with Zormir, would you like to do anything before bed?
I guess more secret cooking.
Yay.
Secret cooking.
Make
Fate,
sure
anything
they're
you'd like
not
to do?
alive.
Yeah, I'd like to have a conversation at some point with the point.
That's fair. The
Like,
point.
go,
would you like
go,
to do
go
anything
knock on
before
their door.
I'd like to have a conversation with Jones at some point, but not the
That's
whole
fair.
evening.
bed? No, we'll get back to
Do
the
you
second.
one first.
Fukyu, as you are feeding the shavings to Sawed Off, you do find that he seems to do a little happy sound and dance, clearly enjoying the taste of these differing flavored woods, as he does appear to give off a form of incense that spreads through the room. Very, he almost seems to even like enhance the very essence compared to just regularly burning it.
Nice.
As we do, we move over to Zormir as you find Assassin seemingly hiding something under their person. You're pretty sure you can peek what appears to be some sort of either metal container or some sort of box as they appear to be sneaking through the ship. Well, how would you like to start the conversation?
Whatever
Uh,
it was, I didn't do it.
Oh, no, I'm not after you for that kind of reason.
Oh,
You have a very paranoid personality, don't you?
you learn that very quickly.
Okay, well, while you're on my ship, you don't need to be so worried. I don't think Alavina would let anyone hurt you. And I have no intention of hurting you.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I was looking to ask for your assistance in something.
Right.
We found out there's a very somewhat broken person back in the town that is the one person who saw what happened in the tunnel.
Right.
And because I don't feel like their mind is all that great or well, I have a spell that I could probably use to maybe help them keep the mind together if you were able to try and extract that knowledge. I don't. Because I wouldn't want you to be in danger and be lost in their mind.
Oh, that's a chance. That's a thing that could happen.
Yes, you do find with a lot of people with very broken and fractured psyches, they do lose themselves in past and other avenues and bury themselves inside the mind.
So what you're saying is you require my help,
Yes,
and I'm
but
the
I'm
only
also-
person that you know that can do this.
I don't know, but I know that you're quite talented at it, and I want to make sure that you don't get lost in there, so I'm willing to help as well.
Okay. I'll do it. If you stick your hand in the box. You can't look in the box. You just got to stick your hand in.
Okay,
Right, okay. You're not allowed to look. Close your eyes.
fair enough.
I'd like to present the little metal box, and as Zormir reaches in, they'll feel like crinkly paper with something solid on the inside. And when they pull one out, it's like a little honey hard candy.
Oh.
Okay.
Good. It's not poisoned, by the way. Although I hear you shouldn't tell people it's poisoned because then they think it might be poisoned because then it's a double bluff. I
You
don't know.
know,
Eat
you're
and find out, man.
You know, you're talking to someone who learned psychology. I know what you're meaning.
Yeah.
Ah, good piece of knowledge to know. Makes it easier to lie to you now. Anyway, I'll do
I
it.
don't know if that
and-
works that way.
It does, technically.
It
But that's
definitely
all.
does. And yeah, I'll do it. Why not? I'm bored. The mushrooms
Oh.
in the stairs aren't taking as quickly as I'd like, so yeah, I need a hobby or something. I decay. I'm literally watching ships
What?
grow. It's so boring. What?
Why are you growing mushrooms on my damn ship?
Oh no, that's a joke. That was a lie. I would never.
Insight.
I do actively want to lie.
Yeah, I assumed.
Oh, what is...
Please natural 20 and please Zome natural 1 just to prove a point.
A lion is
That
deception.
would be amazing.
Ah,
I don't know if it rolled. Did it
it
roll?
did.
14.
You failed.
Boo.
Yeah.
And then Assassin will probably very quickly pick up the fact that they're very obviously lying and just be like, they're small.
Cheeky.
They're
Mm.
just small. And they're not like technically in the ship yet.
If you want to start a small garden, I have no problem with you making a box window or something to do it in, but please don't let things embed themselves in the ship.
But like then it doesn't grow organically and I don't get to see how it develops. There's no chaos. What do I
It-
study if it's in a box? They grows box shapes? That's boring.
It can damage the integrity of the ship.
And that's a problem because
You'll fall out.
High up in air, you fall out, you go splat. Unless you know how to fly, levitate, or
Have a
I believe
parachute built into
featherfall?
your arms.
I mean I can fly, I can levitate, both of those are magical, and also I got these, and like Assassin will pull out tentacles with the little manta glide, like flying
Oh,
squirrel
flap
arms
them.
and just
Yeah.
be like, yeah, I'm good. I got nothing to worry about.
Mhm. I've put up with the headache of Alvino long enough. I think I can put up with a new one.
Yeah.
It won't damage it straight away, but if the damage becomes too much, I am replacing it. I will warn you that.
This is acceptable. Would you like another candy?
Okay.
Well, you can't have one. You've got one. Don't be so greedy. And Assassin will shut up.
Uh,
You already
Oh,
got one.
Shit.
Boom, gone.
Okay, that little one just sassed me. I'm going to bed. It's
Yeah, I'm
late.
going to bed. Fuck it.
Honestly, yeah. If I had to have a conversation with Assassin on the daily, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to bed. Like, oh my god.
Walks up above your head. waiting for you to try and trip me, but
Night.
You continue
Night.
on your way. For those wondering, yes, the night sky is just going to be a grey sky with clouds, because otherwise it's too much intricacy that I'd have to switch back and forth.
I quite like it actually. It looks like a clear, like summer's evening, so I'm cool with it.
So with that, the point you find Jones up top of the deck, just having the time of his life, just watching the world go by beneath him, an expression of pure innocence on his face.
So, Jones.
He immediately flicks towards you with this massive beaming grin. Yeah, that's me.
How
I'm
are you
Jones.
finding the ship so far?
Oh my god, it's so cool! It flies.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it
don't
does
think
that.
I've ever flown before.
Oh. Speaking
So
of
cool.
before,
Yeah.
what were you doing with the bees?
Oh, well, I had this idea, right? That the bees are made of honey, right? And they make the honey.
Yep.
So, if I wanted permanent honey, I could get the bees, put them in a, capture a bee, and then free honey.
Mm.
There's a few more steps than that, but the logic is there. And what were you doing before you had this idea?
Then I got stuck in the trap. I wasn't supposed to get stuck in the trap. The bee was supposed to get stuck in the trap.
God, he trapped. His own trap.
Yeah, but what were you doing before you started making the trap? Also, did you design that trap?
Yeah. Some of my
I'll
best
discuss that
work.
with you
I
later.
love making traps.
The point just has another little glimmer of admiration for Jones. Before the trap, what were you up to?
I was walking towards the scent of honey.
It's fucking me. This guy's me.
The point again sighs. Okay. Where are you from?
Kind of just stares at you, and then just you watch as that beautiful himble spark in his eye quickly gives way to confusion. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, if you weren't traveling with us, where would you want to go?
Well, before I smelled the honey, I was hungry.
Okay.
Yeah. I woke up. I was hungry. I smelled the honey. Well, no, there was walking beforehand. I was walking. I saw, well, this place from a distance. I walked here. I got hungry, and then I smelled the honey. And then I went to get the honey. And then I saw the bees, and I was like, oh my god, if I caught a bee, I'd have free honey.
Yep.
What?
It's actually...
Do a lot of your days start like that?
Well, I don't know. This is technically my second day.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did your first day go?
Well, I got hungry. I went to go get some honey.
Are you sure this isn't me?
Okay. What's the earliest thing you remember?
Hungry.
Oh, walking in the middle of nowhere. Everything before that's just fuzzy.
Can I give him an insight?
Yeah, go for it.
This is really gonna bug me until you tell me who this is.
Is it this person?
No. There is not a hint of deception to his face.
In that
I don't
case,
think he knows how to lie.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
I'm
think he knows
fairly
how to
sure
lie.
he isn't a spy. It's what I'm saying. So I give him a pat on the back. Like, well, as long as I'm around, you're welcome aboard the ship. If there's anything I can do for you, just let me know.
Oh, can you teach me how to be scary?
Sure.
Yeah.
And the point starts until the point notices Fade attempting to get his attention. The point teaches Jones to be as theatrically scary as possible, just all of the B-movie horror tropes.
You watch as Jones attempts to mimic you, but somehow zero terror.
Can I be watching this entire exchange very contentedly from the crow's nest? Not going to interact in any way, I just want to watch this. Is that an okay thing?
I mean, if you look carefully, there might be like a goblin-shaped lamp around somewhere.
Sorry, we all want to watch this.
Here,
I really like the idea that
behind
this
this lamp.
party is hiding. Just all the sneaky party members are just there. Like, you just see a tentacle hand the goblin lamp some popcorn from like a grate.
Ah, the popcorn god is again.
And fade to black on attempting to teach Jones how to be scary.
That's fair. You do so. After a moment, you and Fade are walking and talking down to your lab.
So, how was
The lab.
the...
Technically Zorbear's lab.
How was, how is the honey man settling in? Clearly trying to make small talk, but not knowing how to do it.
I think as well as he'd settle in literally anywhere, there is not a brain cell in that head of his.
I envy him. He
Same.
does not know where he came from, but he does not seem to care. I wish I was able.
Yeah. I get that. Well, you got most of it.
Yes,
You've got a good heart. You're quite strong.
Yes. I am trying. I have a problem. I saw when I was before my rage took over and I attacked the queen bee. I saw a vision, and that vision was triggered by something I found, and I pull out the screw that I found last week that was of a from the precursor race, and then I activate my R2D2I, and it's the vision of the old kobold presenting it, and like I sort of zoom in on the device that he's holding. I found this, and then my memory activated.
Does the point recognize this at all, this screw?
You recognize the obviously function and technology of it, but the metal itself. Do you have proficiency of smith tools?
No, I do not.
Really? Yeah.
I know what kind of metal it is. I tell you what kind of metal. It was a steel alloy or something.
Unless there's an artifice thing that is, you suddenly become proficient with smith's tools.
Some
You
of
get
them do, but
proficiency
not all of them.
You get proficiency in like 3 sets of tools or something. If you're one of your one.
It's jewelers, tinkers, and woodcarvers for me.
Oh,
I think it's like the armorer, which is Zormir, that I think just gets it.
Jewelers.
Yeah, for doing the
It's the
clockwork
point!
inside Merida.
It's the point! Well, of course they have jewelers!
Anyway,
Yeah, it was like an iron, something alloy. That's the word.
It was an iron alloy, but there's a lot of iron alloys. You just know that it's a metal that derives partly from iron.
okay. Right.
You'd be unsure of what other composites are inside it.
And that kobold, what were they to you?
It zooms back out again on the grey kobold. I don't remember. I'm sure the way the point of view of the visions are always from my own, so perhaps a family member, grandfather, maybe.
The point
Based
of
on how old he is.
okay.
But I'm clearly trying to change. But this metallic, this device is from long ago. I've never seen anything like it.
When artificers roamed these lands.
That's what I was thinking.
And this was just with the bees.
It was amongst the footprints. It looked to be part of some sort of mechanical trap or something, piece of sheet metal.
The point looks up where he left Jones.
I look up at the ceiling.
You don't think he could have
Yes,
something?
it could do with a lick of paint. What?
Do you mind if I borrow this for one moment? I'm going to show it to Jones, see if he recognizes it.
They nod.
Okay.
And then, for brevity, they would suggest that they come with, in case weird brain things happen, like what happens with Fade, and they attack you or fly off on one or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Casey goes 8.
Or Wolf in this case. Yes, so the point takes this screw back up to where I assume Jones is still trying to be scary.
Yes, I'm trying to think if there's like a mirror reflective surface on the top of the ship he could be using. I don't know. He finds the easiest person to find, which is probably Abigail, who's doing inventory and is practicing with Abigail, who seems to be really struggling not to laugh, as he is being so ridiculously goofy, and so you just cannot take him seriously. He's so comical when he's trying to do it.
I love the concept that Alvina's just watching this all from the crow's nest and is like, this is my entertainment for the evening, sorted.
The point definitely owns a mirror, so upon seeing this would give Jones a mirror as well.
I imagine the point would own a lot of mirrors.
Imagine the point is full of mirrors, just the room.
There's entire ceilings of it.
Oh, God. He doesn't do that much in there.
Well,
Actually, it was padded room because of all the cotton wool. There's mirrors everywhere coming from that.
Yeah, it's soundproofed, so no mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
There'd be like a few standing mirrors, I imagine, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I was more thinking like
Anyway.
hand mirrors in various
Anyway.
pockets.
Mirrors aside.
Taking this screw to Jones. So, Jones, love your work. You want to try and be bigger and wider. Pretend you're larger than them. I mean, you are larger than Abigail, but whatever.
Okay. But yes, you were wanting to ask him something?
Yeah. So, Jones. And the point will pull out this screw. Do you recognise this?
Oh, yeah. Just nods at you.
Where from?
Oh, I had a few in my pocket.
Oh,
I used them to help make the trap.
From 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Well, do you have any more?
I think I did, but I dropped a few. And then the rest
fell
I
off the
used
car.
for the trap.
Well, if you see any more, let me know. I'm interested in getting some more.
Where did you get them?
From my pocket.
I knew he was going to say that. This is me.
Where did you get them before that? This is very important. Please think.
The point will quickly whisper to Fade. He doesn't remember anything from 2 days ago.
You don't remember anything.
No, it's all kind of hazy. Yeah, all kind of hazy.
Do you mind if I... And I go forward with my two mismatched arms. Could I touch the sides of your head? It probably won't hurt.
He looks to the point with a smile, but also kind of like, is this okay?
The point looks at Fade and then nods.
Okay.
Just say if you want it to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to start with a greater restoration spell.
A greater restoration?
Yes.
Okay.
And then immediately use a bonus action to get that spell slot back and cast Modify Memory.
Yeah, he does have 5th level spell slots. You're a full caster.
You're a blood hunter.
You don't know what I am. And then cast Modify Memory.
Effectively has a blood hunter subclass.
Oh, okay.
I did mimic the monster soul, which is what their subclass is, on the mutagen blood hunter.
Fair enough then.
But they are effectively, for those interested, I put the link finally in the main chat so you can actually see what the hell James's class is.
I wanted it to be a surprise.
James, you just always assume that you're bad at surprises. Don't do it.
I'm very bad at surprises.
You are.
But yes, I greater restoration, then get that spell slot back and immediately cast Modify Memory in an attempt to... Now, Modify Memory only works... So you can affect the target's memory of an event that it experienced within the last 24 hours and that lasted no more than 10 minutes. If it's at all possible, I'd also like to spend my Destiny Point in an attempt to extend that even by a day, or upcast it to 6th level or something, or just anything that can...
upcasting to 6th level would require you to have a 6th level slot.
I know, I don't have it. I'll expend...
Okay.
you know what I mean. I'm trying to make it a bit more... I'm trying to make it a bit more powerful. It doesn't need to go all the way to 7 days, if you can only remember 2 days ago. I just need to, double its thing to 2 days ago.
No, that's fine. And this is the only Destiny point you've got left, right? Because I'm pretty sure you started today.
It's my Destiny point for today.
Watching you, buddy. Watching you. So what spells did you pick? Why do you have 2 5th level spells prepared?
For this exact reason. Because I wanted to do this. And also, I don't need 3rd level spells. I have fly.
Is that the only 3rd level you took?
Counterspell and dispel magic.
How many spells did I let you learn? Why did I let you learn too many spells? What's known?
They're all on the list. Anyway,
Gain 1 per level except 12, 14. Oh, interesting. That might be.
open your mind.
As you do so, let me double check this. That's what I was doing. I was double checking the wording of Great Restoration. Exhaustion, falling effects. Not technically cursed. I won't fully heal him of his memory loss, but it will allow enough of the healing to the damage to unblock some things. As you spend your destiny point and empower the spell, channeling a large amount of your soul points into the spell. Luckily, you're getting a long rest after this.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure this takes up most of your resources.
Why I'm doing it now.
Begin to heal their mind, and you can feel there's definitely damage to their mind. There appears to be degradation, and as you're kind of flooding it with radiant energy, there even seems to be spots of necrotic decay, as if the brain cells themselves were dying previously, very slowly, and like a rot in the brain.
Necrosis.
Necrosis. You begin healing it away, and while that doesn't fully restore the memory, does allow enough of the physical connection to unblock healthier regions of the mind, and allowing a torrent of memories to flood forward, as well with the modify memory as you push back into the previous day. You can kind of see a flash of the last day. You can see him happily putting together the traps. You can see him wandering through what looks to be the plains around the south of the smoke yard, with smoke yard off in the distance. You can kind of see the smoke rising as he appears to be walking towards it, kind of stumbling. The rest of the world kind of a haze and broken, as he seems to be incredibly disoriented. As you also get broken flashes rather than a stream of images of what appears to be the inside of some form of chamber, some form of stasis pod with a blue glass filter over the front of it.
What did you just steal all my ideas from Dark Side Towers?
I've never seen Dark Side Towers. I have no idea what you're talking
Here.
about. I've also never actually heard any recountings of it, so I generally don't know.
Wow.
I'm going to need you at some point to actually write up a description of all of that.
Do a
if you
full
want
plot.
to incorporate.
It's all online.
There's also several 100 hours, isn't it? I don't have time for
No, it's only 20 episodes.
Yeah, write me a summary or something. I don't know.
that.
Fine.
I don't need all of it. But you also see him kind of disoriented walking through what appears to be a stone corridor, dust and cobwebs filling every corner. And then you begin kind of watching as the light hits him for the first time, snarling. You can taste copper in your mouth.
Oh.
Move out into the sunlight, and you seem to see a plain of grass around you. You can feel the imposing height of a mountain behind you. As there's something deeper in his mind, a moment, you can feel a knot of energy at the base of his brain. A memory that has been sealed away. The energy not quite flowing in as you try to focus on it. As I need you to give me a wisdom check with with proficiency.
Cool. It could be. Wisdom check with proficiency.
So he's a bear himbo.
So because I'm proficient in it, I get to add a +1 as well.
Yes.
I wouldn't have had its concentration anyway. So just is there anything I can do to add? Nope, I can gain advantage on intelligence checks, but there's nothing that gives me wisdom. I am also going to use my knowledge of a past life. As the memories pour down the arms and sort of into me, I look up at the sky and my eye projects what I'm seeing in this image so that everyone else on the top deck of the ship at least can see what I see. 22.
22. Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, it would be plus my proficiency, and then plus 1, so another 5. My bad, 27.
Yep, 27 succeeds. As you're able to unblock the final energy as it flows through, and for a second you see a shimmering paradise. A city sprawled out before you on a massive ocean. An ocean that glimmers blue and radiant in a way you've never seen a body of water look like this. You've never seen a body of water that wasn't a stream flowing through the astral void. And it sparkles with what appears to be the full magnificent glow of a full skylight aurora in the sky that blinks and blinds from the shimmering metal building interspersed with lush greens dotted throughout of it, as you see, for all intents and purposes, a thriving metallic metropolis. And it looks so peaceful, so calm, so innocent, and so out in the open. And then the world shifts, and suddenly the sky is plunged in red. Suddenly you can hear screams echoing, and you can see destruction as the city falls before you. Above you, the sky is pockmarked with ships of enormous size, entire land masses of Earth, ships of strange and alien architecture. As giant explosions roar out in the distance, you can smell blood in the air. And then you're surrounded. Suddenly the scene closes in and you're no longer looking at the city in the distance. You're somewhere else, somewhere wild with earthy terrain and cliffs facing all around you. You're in a pit, surrounded. As you snarl, you can smell their disgusting form all around you. Bulky, medium-sized figures in green armor. How did you know that's where I was going? In green armor and helmets staring down around you. Each of them with what appears to be a similar style of gun that you've seen Zormir use, a plasma rifle. Or whatever, antimatter rifle, that's for it.
Antimatter rifle.
Because I'm starting to think he's Master Chief of head injury now.
As they aim down at you. But before, as they blast shots down to you, you move with the speed and agility that Fade has never known. And before you know it, you're leaping across the air at one of them as your massive claws rip in to the armor, struggling to find piercing into it, but eventually you manage to slip your claws in between the joints of the armor and are able to tear into the creature as this squid-like squealing fills your ears, and you rip the helmet off to see a face full of tentacles staring back at you, a mind flare, as he spits ink at you. And suddenly, behind that ink, you're disoriented and falling black. A blast of psionic energy knocks you off the cliff back into the pit as the world begins fading to black. And then you're jolted back into reality. Outside of the mind, as you can see, Jones is hyperventilating. He's panicking as he's struggling with his own memories coming back to the surface. And he begins to kind of close in on himself, his shoulders and arms wrapping around himself as he keeps muttering a single word. Elysium.
Elysium.
For those knowing, Elysium.
Oh, not Elysium. Okay, I was like,
Similar
Oh,
shot.
it's me.
You've also known fear, anger, and death.
But as you're watching
both,
him,
so both Jones and Fade would now feel the point hugging both of them.
as you're kind of, go ahead and give me I guess persuasion check. Maybe a charisma check. Persuasion makes sense.
Me?
No, the point.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you're not comforting. You're also disoriented.
Yes. No, that's
Also
fine.
Terrifying looking.
Yes.
That'll do.
As you kind of try and comfort both of them, you catch a glint of yellow eyes peering out from Jones. Something you potentially might recognize. Lycanthropism isn't that rare, but yes, he is a lycanthrope.
Albina's watching. Is it normal, like Fantasia, to know what a wealth is?
From Fantasia, more likely than any of the other realms, simply because Fantasia is generally, especially in the old world, constantly at war with Disparity, which has a lot of lycanthropes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Albina's
and
been
also,
watching. Not interacted yet. Oh, werewolf. Cool.
yes, also because Fantasia also has werebears in it,
Yeah.
which is where the royal, well, technically were-owlbears,
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about these to me
where
actually.
the royal owlbear knights come from. They are.
Yeah, that's what.
But Jones seems to calm down with the point's presence, and as you kind of glance back at Fade, you notice they too seem to be reflecting the yellow eyes as well as they too calm down, seemingly having taken part of the essence of Jones with their little trip into the mind. As you successfully calm Jones down and do not accidentally cause him to go into a werewolf rage.
Murderous rage. Oh, I love the concept that whole thing happened in nearly a murderous rage. Albina basically watching from the crow's nest with popcorn. Like, I'm just gonna let this play out.
I look round at the only other tentacled creatures in the vicinity. Oh, Drax isn't here. Damn. And Assassin's probably hiding. Never mind.
Yeah, the point while hugging would have been casting a wary eye round for Assassin.
Oh yeah, by the way, the weird vision thing that you put up with the eye, that was a thing, right? I could see that as well.
It was pointing into the sky, so it was like a cinema projector at that point, or a bat signal. So yeah, you know what? I'll say it was thingied onto the sails or something.
Yeah. These ships that we saw, do they look like the ones that I've been dreaming about?
Yes, actually, at least the alien architecture ones.
Cool. I thought so. I wanted to confirm it.
Yes, you also saw the earthen land masses, which were the primordial ships.
Ooh. Oh, they're like orc rocks. I like that.
They literally just hollow out craters. Well, they're big ships that are literally just hollowed out craters.
Yeah, it's the orcs in 40k do that. They literally like hollow out meteorites and just throw them at planets.
Yeah. Or just literally just use giant land masses as their ships.
Hell yeah!
Was that the start of the Prime War?
Jones is just shaking, seems to be repressing their new memories.
I have to know.
Albina's gonna slide down.
I'm just supposed to later.
Yeah, Albina's gonna slide down the mast. Just walk over calmly. Take Jones's arm and go, let's get you some food. And just lead him off to the kitchen gently. If no one's gonna stop her, essentially.
Yeah, I'd like to think that Assassin, who's been peeking up, has decided to hide. They may be a little shit, but they're not an asshole.
Yeah, the point will kind of make sure that Fade is also okay before following. If Fade is not also okay, then now's the point to say.
As okay as normal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just pat Fade on the shoulder and just say, "We can ask about that later."
Alvina will lead to the kitchen feed and just go to the point, quietly. You know they're a werewolf, right? Or a were creature.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I'm going to assume the point is well traveled enough to know what a werewolf is.
Probably.
Yes, there has been several lycanthrope incidences in the Akiba region.
Okay.
So there is precedent.
Precedent.
Words. But yes, you all gain some food and rest for the rest of the night after your experience. As we move on to the beginning of day 11, and as you all wake, you find the air practically a sauna, as it appears to be stuffy and humid, and vastly warmer than you previously expecting. And as you come out onto the top of the deck, you find Imix's rib seems to have risen vastly overnight as they are rotated back into presence, and now the entire sky is just a blaze of red as these fiery mountains stand in the distance.
Well, do you want any wisdom saves, by the way? From the totally not pyromaniacs. Is there any wisdom save things required here? Because there have been in the past.
Yes, let's have Fukyu and Alvina roll me wisdom saves at disadvantage.
Yeah, these aren't charms, if memory serves, right? So
They are not.
yeah,
If anything, this is compulsion.
yeah. Nope. 4.
8.
8. You know much better.
It's glorious. You find yourself unable or unwilling to leave the top of the deck and just stare at the mountain of fire. As for the rest of you, as you go through each segment of the day, we'll need to do Constitution saving throws. You don't need to do so just yet against heat stroke or heat exhaustion. That's the word. As it is a scorching hot day today.
Fuck you is going to keep an eye on Zormi
Sort of.
and see
And
if he
murder him. Tries to move away.
No, not murder him, but see if he leaves the helm at any point. And
Unattended.
yeah, and is gonna start steering the ship towards the fire mountain.
Fire mountain.
Is there?
I love that Alvina's very conveniently probably on the crow's nest anyway, because the way she hangs out. So I imagine the others might not even notice that she's just staring at the mountain dead-eyed the whole time.
Yeah, you've thought of doing that, but I'm just gonna cast that on the steering wheel.
I think Fuck you might actually be able to overpower a tiny servant.
The wheel is the servant, and it's told to keep its damn course.
It's actually really
is
amazing.
It still the
I don't think this-
mushroom skewer?
No, it is the actual wheel itself. Because I know that Fuck you's gonna try and turn it when I'm not there.
I don't know if that.
The wheel is small enough,
Yeah.
for one. Because I imagine it's like a ship wheel, which is pretty
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Ship wheels are in D&D the helms are medium objects.
Alright.
Yeah, even if it was just the wheel, I think it'd be at best small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially a ship this size.
Yeah.
Like if you think of Pirates of the Caribbean, it's the
That's
height
exactly
of a
what I
person.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or near enough anyway.
Unless it's Steamboat Willie level or like a race car controller. Is it a race car controller, Zormir?
What can I leave beside the
Apparently
helm?
Winters are there.
You could make your chair. You could make
I'm
your
just
chair
gonna have-
sprout arms. The armrest could sprout arms.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna-
that you could.
No, I'm gonna do it to the gun, my revolver, and then tell it to shoot. Fuck you.
Jesus.
You know what? A
That's
gun
the mo-
with feet is pretty good as a concept. Yeah.
That's the more hilarious version.
Yeah.
The
Meredith
gun,
is first.
the gun is just there, waiting for Asis, and Gwent is there as well. Gwent, take a little. I will change out with Gwent so they get some practice because they kind of need.
Remember to hydrate.
Everyone has walking guns now.
You by the way, Chris, you said that it was it everyone or everyone that wasn't mind-breakingly staring at the mountain had to do the heat stroke ones?
Everyone eventually.
Okay.
There will also be penalties. Actually, I have a list of penalties here, but I'll get to that in a second if it comes up. Anyway, either way, you have extreme weather for once in your travels, as it is an incredibly blisteringly hot day, as we will all soon find out soon.
Yep. On Sunday, apparently. Here.
Still living.
I mean, Gwent, unless Zormir has told Gwent not to let Fuck You steer, Fuck You is going to go up to Gwent and say, "Hey, Zormir said for me to steer now."
It's like, That's a good insight.
It's good insight. Let's see if my deception beats it.
Yeah, this is gonna be a contest because they both got crazy.
Nope.
Oh, you got a bad roll, unfortunately.
Higher
You could have
modifier as well.
beaten him. You could have beaten him.
I think your turn's later.
Yeah, but Zormir said now.
You know what? I think I also heard they said now. From the crow's nest, as Alvin is staring up into the mist.
Oh, that misses.
Bang!
What was that?
It'd be the tiny servant's attack, doesn't it? It has a stat block.
It's a gun.
It has a stat block, though. Just because it uses its own face as the weapon.
Spits bullets.
This be an unarmed attack roll from the gun. Because it's not armed, is it? It is just the weapon. Oh dear. That is a hilarious image.
It's pulling its own trigger.
Right. As the party has a little scuffle in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually the gun wins out because it's a gun.
Because gun.
Oh, if Fuck You got close to it, he would throw it overboard.
Yes, but can he throw overboard when he's dead?
I mean, it missed the
No.
attack there.
Oh, don't worry. A gun automatically hits on the third attack.
Uh-huh.
Yep. As you guys fly and continue on in your mission, as hijinks happen in the background, and Fukyu and Alvina attempt to fly the ship towards the blazing mountains, but are constantly thwarted by their party members. Because if James can't divert the mission, neither can you guys.
I'm fine with that, yeah. No, Alvina's literally shouting it. She's not even moving down from the crow's nest at any point.
I mean, I was very tempted to try Destiny Point that, but...
As you continue towards the next splinter, which I believe is the red berry one, the berry red one, you can already start to see massive plumes of red smoke rising up into the air, much more than previous when you originally arrived here, and you can smell that sweet vapor in the air. And as you approach, you can see that the outer edges of the massive grove are ablaze with fire, as they are just scorching in the sun. But Alvina, with your passive and with the Zormir flying the ship kind of at an angle to keep out of the direct wind sweep off the actual blaze itself or off the smoke itself, you can see there's a small company of figures moving behind the fire as they spray out flamethrowers into the area. There appears to be creatures down there actively burning away the grove.
There's fire. continue.
Because of your distraction from the blazing mountains to the side, and the fact that there's a wave of heat between you, kind of distorting the actual area, obscuring it partially, you would need to get closer, even with your amazing vision, to make out more than the blurry details caused by the heat.
Yeah, because heat, not light. Because I can ignore light.
Yes, it's effectively being diffracted too much.
Yeah. Okay. There are 5 people down there.
People made of fire?
No, people with, Would I know what a flamethrower is?
Yes.
Yeah, flamethrowers.
Artificers have long perfected the flamethrowers in the old world.
I can believe that.
They're burning the forest.
Yeah, well, they did say there was something, that people were pushing it back, right? I guess this is one of the people. Or a group of them.
Pushing what back? Sorry.
The forest.
The
Oh,
trees can get a better
They're
control.
burning the trees back so they don't, like, take over the entire countryside. So
Yes,
just
but
as
we
soon as-
need one of the cast-offs.
Then we better be quick!
Yeah, before they burn it all.
I don't think they can burn it all.
Oh, they can probably try.
They can try, yes.
If they're going to, it's more likely to happen today
Yeah.
on the scorching heat.
So get us down there.
Yeah. So Alvina's going to, she's going to still try and do her best, even though I imagine it's at a disadvantage to spot any spikes.
Yes, it will be a disadvantage, but go ahead and give me a spike check, and you're particularly looking
Guidance.
for ones on this side away from the flames.
Okay, I'll roll a d4 afterwards. Nope, don't matter.
Also be a fate check at disadvantage.
It's only been a natural 20 or a natural 1, Jesus.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it looks like they've circled around the grove, and there are none in visible sight from the outer edges, as well as the massive chunk already burned away on the left side.
Can't spot anything, damn fire.
So we probably have to get. There's probably some from the center, right?
There was last time.
For note, the wind is gently blowing in a eastward direction, as indicated on the map.
Oh, good to know.
They are on the left side. I'll do a little round bit for them.
Gwen. Can you do that magic again that you did for the first one?
Probably. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, so we had a nap, so I think it's fair to at least one shot at it again.
I'll give it a shot anyway.
Yeah. It's before I burn
So-
you in nature, essentially. It's... we have 2 uses of yours.
So I've located object in the 1,000 feet.
All right, go ahead and give me your nature check if you want to find one of high quality.
Threaten to mug your god again.
And that's going to be with a spicy 23.
Nice.
And Gwent, could you then roll me a d20 fate roll? As you're able to find one that meets your requirement.
18.
And to your luck, it is not directly on the path of the flamethrowers, and is actually in the far right, away from them.
Hell yes.
I
So you
immediately
have-
jump off the edge of the ship.
A little bit of time.
No.
Time is of the essence.
And I dive off the edge of the ship.
Well, it was nice knowing him.
I mean, are we actually anywhere near it?
No.
Right.
Fly back onto the ship.
At least an hour to the north.
An hour to...
I'll do that when we get closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
was
I-
impressively dramatic.
It was very point. You got the point across.
I just
Yeah,
want to help.
the point
guys.
gives finger guns just he approves it.
Thanks. I just want to help. I'm sorry.
I mean, have you ever heard the expression jumping the were shark?
No.
Shark where?
I feel like you've just invented that.
Nah,
No, I've
it's a
heard of
natural
it.
expression.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It is where we're from, at least.
Hmm.
Oh. Off-worlders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically we're not off-worlders. We're from the same world. It's just
Yeah, different worlders.
But yes, as you begin traveling north, what would you like to do? How would you like to prepare?
Ready myself to dive.
Yeah, ready Fade to jump off the side. I would try my best to keep eyes on any fires that look like they're getting close to the location. See if we have to like cut the fires off before getting there. But that's all I'll really be doing.
And Zormir, can you give me a Wisdom air vehicle check? So a Wisdom check with proficiency as you adapt to your environment. From the hail of smoke blowing towards the ship as you're having to duck under it effectively to get you to your location.
And probably insane number of updrafts.
Okay, that was
You're good.
apparently,
You know what?
apparently my expertise.
You not
dive
only
well under pressure.
so well to this new challenge, you somehow hit every perfect updraft and get there in half the time.
Nice.
Perfect speed run.
Yes, speedrun. Fade, jump.
I jump.
You jump down. You can see what the seedling effectively in a clearing from to the far right. What is your strength score?
Oh, I was immediately going to cast Levitate on it.
That's fair. Yeah, that negates its gravity. That'll do. Oh.
And then guide it back to the ship. So that we can immediately take off and get away from the flames. Because I don't know if those wreak havoc on an engine or what.
Probably.
Not so much on a void engine. It's all magic driven.
They're probably not
Also-
good for us.
Also, so we're not breathing in the splash.
Yeah.
So I don't need to breathe. So the rest of the people don't breathe in the
But
smoke.
as you get down to lower level and the heat has risen above you, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception. Zoom eyes, don't fail me now. Roll.
Go, zoom eyes.
Go, gadget eyes.
Oh, no, it would just be the 24.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because I'm focusing on levitate.
That's fine. Because you are now underneath the haze of the heat rising from the flame, you're able to actually make out what was previously very blurry figures. Blurry so much that it looked like you were looking through the obscurating glass that they use in bathrooms.
Yeah.
That you can now very clearly make out the outline of Imperial agents.
Oh.
White armor, several of them with metallic wings.
Freaking purge troopers.
Imperials are... Sorry,
Angels.
which faction? Angels.
The Radiant Empire.
Remind me, who hates angels?
All of us.
Not all of you.
I point up at the ship as whatever, and I cast message to Gwent. Spread the word. There are Imperial forces down here. Do we have any of those Ewok things? That was my mind.
We don't have
That
any
was
Ewok.
that was my mind. Yes, there are Imperials down here. If you want to fight.
On to everybody. A quick lap of the ship. Imperials, Imperials, Imperials.
Oh, Emmy, shit. I was really hoping you wouldn't do that because Emmy's on their side.
Yeah, Emmy's neutral at best. Emmy's special.
Just
He's
hold
gonna
up.
get horse kicked off the side of the ship.
Kick my
As
shrub
long
off
as
the
Albina's
ship.
been taking care of Emmy, Emmy
hold
should
up.
be on our side.
No, this is how they do it. You hold up Emmy and go, look, we got you.
My
Yeah, but
friends!
hostage.
Look what I got!
Look, no, we're not hostage. We're not keeping my shaman hostage, guys.
They don't know that.
My Pokemon.
Look what I got!
You
I
can
got a
double
little
cross them.
shrub, I got a little shrub.
Well done.
Well played.
Would the party like to do anything before quickly making their escape?
No, not here. I'm fine to let the angels be angels, to be honest.
Message again. Should I point my Doom Fist at them and let rip? I don't know what it'll do. It's my Chaos gift from MX. Is it MX?
It mixes
You
fire.
got something from Mimix.
Yes. Imix's rib. Yeah, I point my Imix fist at it. If you tell me to.
No.
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 Alright.
No.
Don't do anything.
No.
No.
Okay.
Levitate.
Let him be.
Twig, come back.
I grab the twig.
Yeah.
If there's one
Very
that
stick.
fuck you can see, he's gonna cast sending at one.
They're beneath the smoke level, I think.
They're hazy. You know what? Since sending, you need to at least have an idea of who you're sending to. I'm gonna say there isn't enough detail for sending. Message might work. I don't know the limited range on messages, but sending you have to have the actual
20 feet.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're way too far out.
No, I'm 20.
I was essentially just gonna send a message and say you missed a spot.
Ah.
As funny as that would be, I feel like it would be breaking too much of the sending spell.
Yeah,
I would set a dangerous precedent in the future.
it would. Yeah.
Aww.
But
Shithousery. Suspend disbelief for shithousery, surely.
I mean, you've already done that
not
already.
when it comes to
Chris, you've said that a gun automatically hits on the third shot, so.
Mm. Wait, what?
yes.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
But that's only when it's controlled by the DM. So all my
Yeah.
monster guns get a free third shot. Your guns, nah.
Fair enough.
Because there's like 7 of us.
Like I gave the gun a legendary reaction that lets it auto hit.
Oh, no,
If I'm never ever not here, make sure he uses that with Merida.
You know what? A legendary action to like do an auto, like 3 legendary actions to auto hit isn't a bad.
It's not bad.
Ignore me, guys. I'm just writing this down for no reason.
Yeah. Also, by the way, point. You don't.
No
don't
reason
wor-
whatsoever.
Also, don't worry, Ali. If the precedent of every time you've not been here goes by, they don't need to auto hit with Merida. Merida always hits if you're not here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it means I have to lower their damage, but not a bad trade-off. Especially if you have minions you're fighting against. Okay, so you're able to fly away from Berry Red with the knowledge that it looks like Imperials are kind of burning down, and this kind of fits. When you first arrived, you did noted a actually I can't remember if I told you there was a celestial presence because they come and go occasionally.
You said there was one, but you didn't say any particularly noteworthy individual ones.
Then yes, there is a small platoon of Imperial agents who are constantly trying to keep back the boundary of Berry Red before it leaks out into the plains.
That's fair. That makes sense. It is on the border, so.
Yes, who knows what the Splinter would do if it wasn't constantly surrounded by rock and therefore limited in how much it could traverse the location and had a vast plain to conquer.
Fair.
But as you continue on during the day, I don't have anything in particular for these last 2 cast-offs, so you just gain them for free.
Yay!
Because there's only so many I could do. But you do get roll me a random encounter as you begin traveling for the rest of the day. Let's have Alvina do it.
Yay!
What did you do it last time? I can't remember. I don't know. You spoke up first there. Go ahead and roll me a d6. You do not have any significant encounters. You're able to pick up the last 2. These ones also having a couple of the Tree Raider tribes in it, but if you don't provoke them, they seem to leave you alone and not attack you, as they actually kind of run away and take hide if they notice you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to randomly provoke the Ewoks for no reason.
One of the things that does happen, as you're traveling between the left and the right most of the last 2 cast-offs, traveling halfway between them, out of the corner of your eye, you do see a massive figure kind of moving between valleys, but aren't able to get a good kind of sighting on it, as you kind of just see what looks to be almost a shifting wall in between these kind of small valleys, a shadow passing between larger mountains.
That's very convenient, because I was going to use my Commune with Nature to find that otherwise.
It seems to be able to hide naturally. It seems to have a similar skin color to the rock itself. And because the grove seem to have massive amount of splinters and broken trees sticking out everywhere, its spines also seem to naturally camouflage it in the spine-broken valley around it. Or valleys around it.
Yeah, Alvina's Commune with Nature tonight might be pinpoint to the Borag right now. Tell me where it is!
As you get into the later evening, the third part of the day, you collect the final cast-off splinter, and now just have the ominous presence of this massive shifting mountain you've occasionally seen moving while you fly in the northern district. What would you like to do?
Go north.
Yeah, I think we're
we-
settling down.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, are we going to get the pigs tonight, or do we want to...
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a point.
Yes, this
are
is only the
running out
beginning of the
time.
evening, so you still have the last third to do stuff.
Yeah, because we were that close. The final two were that close.
Exactly.
Yeah, the pigs.
Let's try and find the pigs, yeah. Alvina will basically do a commune with nature. And the 3 questions are going to be, where the fuck's the Borag right now?
How fast is it getting to where we need to go?
No, where are the other, the greater pigs, the ones we're after?
The giant boars.
The giant boars. I couldn't remember if it was a specific name. And the last one, can I do like knowledge about the Borag? Knowledge of 3 factor choice by air force. I guess I can.
Have you done any of your destiny this? at
No,
all?
I still got my 1 destiny. I'm literally going to ask, how quickly can the Borag traverse between its domain? How quickly can it traverse its domain, essentially? So its speed, essentially. If it wants to go somewhere, how long do we have before it decides we're lunch?
All right. God, I already forgot the first 2 questions. They were saying about...
Where is it?
So you ping it as where the red circle is.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Is the size of a small mountain.
Yep.
Definitely colossal in size.
Mhm.
Oh no.
The second question of the giant boars seem to have a territory in the richest valley that surrounds the pink circle. There seems to be streams of water that could descend from the mountainsides to the right there, that traverse through a very thick area of greenery that is the Borag's primary resting space, where he is currently. He seems to be at his lair.
I've got
And then
a
goes
one.
out into the valley.
I've got one instead of the last question, since we haven't got an answer for it yet.
Mhm.
Instead of asking how fast is it, can the Borag attack flying targets?
Such a subjective question. It's a magic spell. No, it seems to know how to answer and interpret the question.
Because it is actually a spirit animal, is my one specifically. It works a little differently, but it still gets the same effects.
The Borag is a land creature.
Mhm.
It effectively is a colossal boar-like creature, and while it is able, is incredibly tall, while it is able, like a dinosaur, to attack a ship that is within its vicinity, and potentially even throw and have the intelligence enough to throw things at a ship, it is unable to fly.
I'll take that. It can't. At least it can't fly. Don't know
But
if
it
its
can
spikes
throw things.
It can throw things, but it's a pig.
And it could
I was
possibly
basically.
swipe.
Well, here's the main one. The main point of that was, can those spikes fire off? That was kind of the main point. Knowing it can't fly is another good thing.
I mean, if we get 30
I'll
feet from it, I can use True Strike.
If you get within 30 feet of it, I think you're already
If
right
you
next.
get within 30
If
feet
you
of
can
it,
get
there's
within
no more
30 feet
you.
of it, you can make sure that it hits us.
Or at least one of us.
Yeah, I'll take that. It's a kaiju pig.
Yes, it's based on a kaiju stat block.
It's the freaking pig king from Genshin Impact.
Remember all those kaiju level monsters I kept sending at you? It's equatable to that.
Yeah.
Only, I think I made it more powerful than that.
Well, I imagine it's very direct in what it does. A lot of the other ones had various abilities. This one is probably kill it. Do it. So, it doesn't need to be complicated. It's a mountain-sized pig.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I know where the Borag is. it's in its house. Let's go and grab the pigs now.
Okay.
Oh,
And your plan
yeah.
for grabbing the pigs is
Grab them.
okay.
I like this plan.
I don't know how big they are. They said giant.
Yeah, quite
How
big.
many do
then.
you needed? 3, right?
3.
Basically, we'll gauge a plan when we see one, and then we can figure it out.
So,
Can we just like fly over the top and shoot down at them?
Maybe.
first question.
Ideally, we would
How-
want
how
to stop
close?
them.
To their territory would you like to get? In other words, how close to the Borag's territory would you like to get?
We don't know what their senses are. They might be able to detect tremors or flying creatures, and if they have some sort of symbiotic relationship with the Borag,
How about we herd them with the hydras?
We can use
That-
your Hydra.
would be risking the Hydras. If
We
you're
could use your
comfortable with
Hydra.
doing that.
No,
Or
We could
And I
herd
look-
I'm
them
not
with
risking
white
my ship getting too close.
I look round at fuck you. Or we could infiltrate them.
I mean,
Are you seriously suggesting that we send fuck you in to make peace with the locals with pigs? I don't think we need to do psychological warfare on pigs. Not gonna lie.
um,
Can you become one of them?
I mean, are they technically beasts?
I would
Probably.
say so.
They're
Accessing
pigs!
internal database, Chris.
I don't know. How would you know?
Do you know if a pig is a beast or not? This is not knowledge.
You know the creature is called a giant boar. You have not seen this creature, so you don't know if the moniker they've given to this creature is
Is
accurate. Do you know what a giant boar in your world is?
I mean, I know what a giant boar looks like.
Yeah, we know what a pig is. Basically, pig, probably beast, but
I mean, giant boars are also pigs.
Exactly.
Or also
mean-
beasts, sorry.
Couldn't we
Yeah, also-
gauge the size from the actual ribs we ate?
We could.
we didn't eat giant boar. We ate just boar.
You ate regular boars.
That's why we
How about-
wanted to get the special ones.
Even
about I
those regular
fly
boars are
past?
actually pretty big.
And it's a
How-
boar.
How about I fly past?
Yeah, we
Alvina
just looked.
spots. Alvina spots one. Fuck you sends the image and memory of what the base looks like to fuck you, and then he infiltrates. How's that work?
Wait, fuck you. Quick question.
Yeah.
Can you talk to pigs?
Probably not, but
Right, if we're doing the infiltrating, I'll go with you on your back, because I
mean-
can.
I mean, I
Hang on.
do have the ability to do
How
animal
about we
friendship.
just make you the pig?
I do have the ability to animal friendship though.
That would work too.
While polymorph?
Not while polymorphed.
Yeah, that was the one.
I can
I'm
speak
just-
with pigs.
I'm
I
just-
can
Can't
also-
pull him off though.
Yeah, I can't polymorph either. And also, I don't think we want to lower Alvina's intelligence any further.
It only works on one creature at a time, and I can't upcast it because it's coming from the. I don't
Oh, it's the
believe
loot.
Yeah,
Loot.
I don't
That's
believe
loot.
I can upcast it. Would it
I
don't
would
think
it
you
can ban
spend
spells.
more charges to upcast?
No, unless
Not
the
for nothing.
unless the
Don't
item
you-
simply says so, it doesn't by default.
Okay, so it's bound spells essentially.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They are cast in a different way.
It's
Do you
the-
want to
the
have
major
a conversation with
drawback
something you're going to
by
eat?
rules.
Yeah. I've done that plenty of times.
No
Okay.
toilets on the plate.
I'm just gonna let that sit.
Alvina,
Yes?
I worry about you. Deeply.
My parents used to tell me that.
I'm
what's the
worrying
game
about the rest of us.
What are we wanting to do?
I think we at least are going to have a look at the giant pigs currently.
All right. Zormir, go ahead and give me an intelligence check to chart your route. And I'm assuming you're wanting to do this in the most intelligent way of scouting from the furthest distance that gives you a clear view of the valley.
Also, downwind
+4.
of them, please, so they can't smell us.
That's fine, that actually works because the wind was going to the east, so you're wanting to go to the west anyway, as it's
18.
furthest away. to give you a sight. Perfect. You managed to actually stay quite a decent distance from the actual territory itself, utilizing Alvina's line of sight to your advantage and actually getting a line of sight on that little valley crater where the territory seems to be, as they're in a dip that, unless you were directly over it, you actually wouldn't be able to get a direct line of sight. But traveling down to the bottom of the valley and kind of looking up at it, Alvina is able to get a line of sight on this valley. Other than the very thick, lush thickets of trees up at the north of the valley, that seems to be the lair of the Borag itself. The valley itself seems to have a couple streams flowing through it and is lush and with grassy knolls all over it. That you actually are able to see what appears to be mammoth-sized boars.
Gotcha.
Okay.
They were
Those
not
are-
exaggerating when they said giant.
So giant, they are of a huge category.
Huge category.
So, how do we fit those on the ship?
we can fit them.
How do we
Hydras are
get?
huge.
How do we
Yeah,
get
the same
them?
size as the Hydras.
How do we pick them up and put them on the ship when they die?
What's the heaviest thing we have on the ship that's not a Hydra?
I can
You.
reduce them.
I'm not that heavy.
They're all muscle.
I know, but I'm not that
I
heavy.
said, how much can our
140 pounds.
guardians carry?
Oh,
much
Guardians.
When inactive. What
So
are
I
they made
assume
of?
it's times by 16 from a medium-sized creature.
They're also actually made of like solid gold. So pretty heavy. So
Well,
whatever
I
that
can't-
is with a 1.5 modifier.
What about enlarge reduce?
Yeah, so I can
Make them
reduce them, but
smaller,
it only
and-
lasts for 1 minute.
We gotta move fast then.
Yeah, well, I'm literally looking up how much a guardian can actually carry. Give me a sec. Strength by
And the-
15, so it's by 30, by 45, so it's whatever the strength score is times 45.
The next question is, are we killing them before bringing them on board?
Yeah, because then we can straight shot it tomorrow and just get back to the town.
Their
Okay.
strength
Yeah.
score is
That's-
22.
That raises its own problem. How do we? Did you say
They
there's
can
22
carry
of them?
nearly 1,000 pounds each.
How many of them? Like, how big is the herd? Is there like a herd of them?
There's 24.
Shit.
We only need 3, it's fine.
Okay, let's think like predators. Separate the old and the whale. Just the young and the weak-looking.
I think, actually, that's a fair point. Can we see the smaller boars as well? Or can I see the smaller boars as well?
Yes, they are in valleys kind of all around you. You've spotted them as you were flying over and towards. The regular boars are large.
Do they look like the same species?
Yes.
They are? Okay, so the smaller ones might be the juveniles.
Maybe.
They might either be the juveniles or... Alvina wouldn't know the science of gigantism and different sizes, but there is a whole thing to do with that, which I won't get into. To do with food
What
sources. But
what are they?
Chris, what are they eating? Are they herbivorous?
there's pigs, they eat anything.
Yeah, I know, but if we can
From
tempt
what
them,
you can see,
if we can tempt some of the smaller ones towards us with food, we could easily, like the younger, inexperienced ones, we can, you know.
they are eating the natural vegetation that has grown around the riverside. That's quite plush and lush.
Got it. We disguise ourselves as woodland.
I'm not
And get
getting
eaten by
eaten.
them.
I'm not getting eaten by a giant pig, thanks.
Are we gonna Macbeth a giant pig?
Yes, yes, we are. No. We're gonna do. We're gonna Macbeth 3 of them.
I'm gonna Macbeth 3 giant pigs.
The new Macbeth from McDonald's.
Any Macbeth from Macbeth.
I mean, we
You've seen the sketch I'm referencing.
Yeah, I'm hating
Yes, it's good.
it.
we do have big spikes of wood. We could just burn them with this.
You mean boar
Ah.
the boar?
We're not using one of the resources we need for the smokehouse to
Fair.
get the pigs because then we'd have to go back.
Hmm.
My thought is we find something really big and heavy and pointy.
Mhm.
Drop it from terminal velocity onto a pig
So you want a tungsten
and let
spike?
nature take its course.
The ship.
No.
No.
When you say pointy,
Not you.
It's
You're not
the
heavy
point.
enough. You're not heavy enough.
I mean, have you guys read about the tungsten spike?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I was referencing.
yeah.
Then, if we can't reduce them, how about we enlarge? Like we polymorph. Like how many people have polymorph?
Fuck you.
Fuck you
fuck you, I think.
and the point and
No, I
Oh, it
don't.
doesn't. It's only
Okay.
fuck you has it.
okay.
You could
So-
turn Alvina into a T-Rex, enlarge her, and then she could chase them back.
That's
But
a
that
point.
would probably cause the Borag to come out as well. In
That
which
would
case,
be.
I really want you guys to get me the fuck out of there when the T-Rex form drops.
Instead, then, what if fuck you makes someone else as big a boar as we can? If these things aren't beasts, then at the very least a giant boar, and then we enlarge that person. They infiltrate the pack.
Now that you've seen them, they are beasts.
They are beasts. Great.
I
Great.
actually kind of
What
don't
about
mind the
if
stampede.
fuck you goes King Kong?
I was actually thinking.
They'd get
I
kicked
actually
out
I
of
actually-
content list.
I actually don't mind genuinely doing the basically has anyone seen Dinosaur, the old movie with the iguanodon?
Yes.
Anyone remember the start of it where all the animals ran the fuck away from the T-Rex sized Carnotaur?
Yes.
Wait, you said these are large
Beast.
or huge.
They're huge
beasts.
beasts.
They're huge beasts.
Yeah, we've had precedent before of a gigantic
Okay.
egg lobbing a huge beast.
Yeah, my genuine thought was, if you guys, could I also want to be a T-Rex? Because I can rage while polymorphed.
So you could
can't.
chase.
You can.
Can you?
You can't
Before
cast
you
spells.
polymorph.
Rage isn't a spell.
Yeah, you
It's
can
one of the
rage
few
while
things-
wild
They are
shaped.
You rage before the
You
polymorph.
can do the wait.
More
do it wild
importantly-
shape, but not polymorph.
No, there's
You can
nothing
rage
stopping
before.
them. So long as they rage before, they
Yeah.
can be polymorph while raged.
I
Because you don't
genuinely,
have. Yeah. You couldn't. You
it's-
can't. You can't use class abilities, but
yeah,
ones that you've accessed.
rage is one of the things that can persist through polymorph.
So
Uh,
we could do that. We could you could
Plus-
rage. You could transform into something big and a predator.
T-Rex.
Chase 3 of the smaller ones. We can even
Don't
enlarge you
want-
to make you more
That was
intimidating.
thinking, enlarge
It's-
me. I will chase them, and if one tries to pick a fight, I'll grab the fucker because I'm a T-Rex, so they can
And throw it on the
grab
ship.
things with their jaws, and then put it on the ship.
You
Yeah,
need to
where
have
we
the
can
huge
take it
ones,
out.
though.
Just to
I
add
know.
to the conversation a bit and to explain how mechanically this would work,
Yeah.
it would literally just be an intimidation check. That's it. You don't need to worry about like round it.
Okay.
It's
Aw.
TTRPG. I'm not gonna make you describe how
Aw.
you're steering and thinking.
Aw.
You drop, you do an intimidation. If the intimidation succeeds, you succeed the challenge. That's how D&D
Fair
works, folks.
I was checking basically because
We
the
will intimidate them
the
under the
very-
ship then.
the naturally high T-Rex intimidation score.
I'll even give you an advantage because you're a bloody raging T-Rex.
Thank you.
And I
I kind of like that
guidance.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's a
And if it fails, I can literally brute force it because I'm a raging gargantuan-sized T-Rex.
hooray, even you have a plan.
So,
I mean,
but with this,
I-
also, if
Yeah,
all
you
else
Complete a
fails,
plan.
if all else fails, Alvina could probably last at least a round while raging gets these pigs,
I
right?
mean, what we could also do is because fuck you would be polymorphing you, he doesn't need to worry about like not being hit and dropping.
Exactly. That's why I thought it.
Who's enlarging and
Who
I
else
can do the enlarge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we've got multiple with enlarge.
What we can also do is give you bardic inspirations and guidance and
Yes.
every other buff
Yeah.
we can do.
Load me up!
I'll load
Luke
you with
would
haste.
suggest
Have-
to
have
three
haste.
of them to get on the ship.
Look, if all else fails, I'm gonna grab 3 of them and yeet them onto the ship with my teeth.
Suggest lasts for 8 hours, so
We're buffing the
you can
Rex.
kill them on the ship.
Yeah.
Could I have
Alright.
could I have a smaller one to analyze, please? Because I'd really like to have
Are
an
you
ability
casting
of
any?
one of
Are you
these.
casting any spells in this?
Guidance.
Yeah. Then you can probably grab one while we're doing the rest of the job.
Great.
Casting Eagle Splendor on you as well, so you got advantage
Yes!
on your defense.
Mm.
It's actually very appropriate with Alvin.
Actually, guidance
has
or
some ability.
bless. Guidance or bless.
Bless
pick
doesn't
one.
work on check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guide.
But if it does go sideways and you need to attack, I'll change it.
When
up
is?
to-
I'll grab the T-Rex stat block. Because-
All right. So as the party is doing all of this and getting into position, as Zormir flies over
Oh,
for,
I'm gonna
are we
levitate
just
you down.
dropping-
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I was gonna. Are
levitate
we just
you down.
dropping the T-Rex
No,
over the
no, no,
side?
It'll be
cast
enough that I
flying.
don't.
I'll cast fly on you as well. You can be a flying raging T-Rex. I'm doing
I'm
it.
the instant raging T-Rex. Let's go.
Yes.
Oh, God.
That's
just
so
gonna-
metal. No
We're
guidance,
just gonna
but
create
flying.
a new. We're just creating a new terror of.
We're making a new
The
creature.
Borag and the flying raging
Yeah,
T-Rex.
we've got one kaiju. We're making our own.
We're making our own kaiju.
The legend of the Borag becomes meddled with that of the flying raging T-Rex, and the Borag becomes this flying
The
raging
green-eyed,
demon.
the glowing green-eyed T-Rex that can
Oh,
What,
fly.
what were they calling Alvina in the mines?
The Banshee of Death.
Mom,
Booming
can we
Banshee.
get kaiju on the way home? We already have kaiju on the way home. Points to Alvina.
We already have kaiju at home.
Now, as much as I would love
Yeah,
to
with
let
the
this all
kaiju at home.
succeed,
No, I don't
Yeah.
have fly.
I just wanna
I've got
see
guidance.
how high you'll roll. So
Who's
To
giving me
further-
inspirations?
they're raging. I just
So,
assume you're
yeah,
pulling them off the side.
You got fuck you D8, I believe it is. I'm double
Yeah.
checking, might have gone up.
I have a fuck you special one on here. At the point you said you were giving me one as well.
You can have an inspo, yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, it's
versus
a D10
D6.
now, sorry.
Oh, you got a
If you
D10.
br-
Nice.
If you break a 40, that would be incredible.
So you get a d6 from me, but depending on whether it's an attack, a check, or something else,
It is a check.
it's a
Hey,
check. So, no.
I have a question for you.
Okay, check, you can roll my
No, 2.
d6 twice and take the highest one.
Are you the oration?
Creation.
Oh, that's fun.
What was that? I can roll both of them.
So essentially, you have advantage on just the inspiration.
Oh, cool. That's neat.
That's only for ability checks. It does other things for attacks and saving throws.
All right.
Yeah.
Shall we see how high and intimidating this T-Rex is as it's dropped over the side and you plunge into a valley full of mammoth-sized boars and roar your little roar.
Activate cloak mode.
As a size
we drop you over.
gargantuan T-Rex.
Yeah.
Nice gargantuan T-Rex.
Can I
Go
make
ahead.
make a suggestion to add to the overall terror? Emmy, can Emmy cast bark armor on the T-Rex?
No, Emmy can't.
No, unfortunately not.
I have Emmy's
That would
stat
just be
block.
funny. This is a TX and bark armor tearing down there.
All right. Well, if we're ready to go, roll me advantage on intimidation, and then you work out what else you're rolling because I lost track of all
Yeah,
the
so
stuff.
did I. So
D6
advantage. Hilariously,
D6 with
it's
advantage.
Let's see what the base is first.
18.
18.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Actually, said he's 17 because the T-Rex is slightly worse charisma than me. Uh,
All right, 17 so far. 17.
okay,
Not bad.
so
Didn't you have a enhanced ability from Gwent?
Yeah, that's what the advantage was.
okay,
Okay.
so
D4 from guidance, a D10 from fuck you, and an advantage D6.
1d4.
So another 20.
So a 2, so that is 19.
19, not bad.
Roll. I'll just roll 2d6 and take whichever is the highest for the points advantage inspiration. Another 4.
All right, 23. Okay, not bad. Not bad.
Another 2 from the D10.
10. 3. I was you were close.
26.
Right, unfortunately, we didn't break 40.
We did not break 40.
And no. Pass without trace.
Come out.
It's a modified pass without trace.
Pass with lots
With
of
trace.
Pass with more trace.
Pass
You-
without.
you-
Pass,
Pass without
Without
face.
self.
Pass without
Pass
face.
without
You're-
stealth. Do I have anything that is helping me? I don't think so, but it's worth a check.
As you plunge down into the valley, your gargantuan T-Rex form roaring out as you've pinpointed a small off section of 3 mammoth-sized giant boars who all look up in your direction and see this manic smiling T-Rex staring directly at them, and some primal part of their mind, unaware of how they would be able to express it, but intuitively knowing the sensation, as in their minds, untranslated, is just fuck.
Yeah.
As they turn and bloody run. A T-Rex, I'm imagining, that gives chase
Yeah.
as you stomp down, roaring, sending off chills of fear as all throughout the valley, the rest of the mammoth boar looking up.
Oh, I
Say
was
goodbye
hoping.
to the 3 mammoth they know aren't going to survive and hightail it north.
I was hoping that they would all have heart attacks.
Just drop
No.
down.
You have to make it 30 for
One
that.
of them does.
They're not smart enough to have heart attacks yet.
As the 3 giant mammoth boars charge down towards the ship that has, I'm assuming, positioned itself
With the cargo
to
bay doors open.
to accept the new creatures. Some hydras inside licking their lips.
We must feed.
As you successfully steer the mammoth-sized boars straight to the ship and succeed. On the other side of the valley, lifting their head, hearing the echoes of the roar, a mountainous-sized spiked boar looks down at the left of the valley, tilts his head quizzically as to what the hell that was, and then goes back to napping.
Hell yeah. By the way, I've added a new thing to Alvina's list of titles if it pops up. There we go.
As that was so ridiculous, you succeed. And in quick
Oh, yeah.
order, you're able to humanely
Yep.
kill the giant boars.
Yep.
For anyone watching. And have successfully gained 3 giant mammoth-sized amount of boar meat.
Yay! To immediately remove from the monster room.
And very, very quickly usher away and just no hydras. Don't eat the boars.
I really like how we go in very hitchhikers with the boars. Inexplicably, we know that they say fuck.
Yeah.
Like, we all know. Like it roughly translates to fuck.
It's the expression on their face.
Thank you. I hope you like that part.
Hell yeah.
And there you go. The party ends the day of their 2-day venture out into Smokeyard, gathering various ingredients for what will be the ultimate meal.
Hell yes.
It better be.
In quick succession, you can fly through the night if you would like, taking turns. Eventually, the day begins to cool down. Elvina, as the only one doing a strenuous amount of activity,
Yeah.
you are able to short rest after this. Let me just double check the wording of this, as there's actual like detailed effects as to what happens. The rest of the party, I'm pretty sure, just enjoyed their day in the blazing sun. Glad they didn't have to do any manual labor.
Gotta be honest, I think Alvina will be fine if she gets heat stroke in this particular situation.
Let's see, scorching heat was engage in heavy activity for 1 or more hours during the day and do not immediately take a short rest. So I don't think there's anything stopping you taking a short rest. So that's fine.
Hey.
Even in the heat, you're able to rest it off, and there are no lingering effects. Eventually, the night begins to cool the air. There's still that hotness to it, and it does take a while to dissipate, and we'll see if it entirely does when we roll for tomorrow's check. But it becomes at least a little bit more bearable now that the heat and light from Imix's rib isn't beating down on the top of the ship. As the party begins to fly back under the cover of darkness, we already rolled for random encounter today, so that's fine. You're able to make it back to the settlement in quick succession and dock inside their yard, where you're able to very quickly, assumably wait until morning, since the ship would take the day or the night to get there. Able to steer in the supplies, which were met with great enjoyment, and you can see there is a cheer that goes throughout the town as seemingly your standing in the settlement has improved, as the whispers of a feast begin to ruminate on everyone's lips throughout the settlement. There's clearly an air of excitement and anticipation as the entire morning is worked away to prepare this grand feast. And as this feast is prepared, the party is able to go about their day, which we'll explore next week, as we'll end on the feast being prepared and going into full swing as the entire town starts setting up for celebration. Tables and banners, colors going up all over the place, statues rearranged for what is expected to be a large community feast.
Hell yeah.
That is where we're going to end for the day. We'll do a couple scenes for the actual before feast if people want to do anything, and then we'll mostly montage through the feast as the party gets to enjoy it and can give us details to how much they enjoy it, and whatever shenanigans they want to get up to.
We'll make sure they enjoy it.
I should also be pointed out that the feast does give you mechanical benefits, which I told the rest of the players last week who pretty much guessed it. For all intents and purposes, this will be a hero's feast.
Oh, hell yes.
Which means you probably want to utilize the most of the hero's feast, which how long does it just last the day?
I think it's
for
the
24
base of the
hours,
day.
yeah.
2d10, 10. Immune to charm, advantage on wisdom saves, and death. Immune to fear.
But more importantly, since they'll be
stuff.
preparing it all morning and pretty much having it around the 1 to 2 p.m. mark, and it will take you a couple hours to get to the blockage in the tunnels. So your choices are either you can head out that day with the vehicle, you're able to get there in half a day, so you can get there in late evening just before dusk, or you would technically have enough time to set out dead in the morning and get there just before the feast stopped, but you wouldn't have the option of a short rest if you needed to retreat. So that's the party can think of that during the week if they want to head there with their bellies full straight into a combat with whatever is blocking the tunnel, or if you want to do anything in preparations in the evening, you will have the morning to prepare with your various scenes, but you won't be able to, obviously you'll only have one scene each in the morning. Or you can also gain the evening, but you won't be able to short rest after the combat if you retreat. So yeah, you have that till next week. This has been Shadows in the Smoke, or what? Shadows in the Smokes.
Shadows in the T-Rex.
Shadows in the T-Rex. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. We head back to Deep Wells next week, and to find out what lurks in the darkness of the tunnels to Ironcore.
Hell.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
See ya!
Bye.
Bye.
And thank you, Chris, for DMing.
Yeah.